Okay. Okay. And how do you feel about that? Okay. Okay.
Anyways, my broskies, I gotta bounce. Bounce on your boy's dick. Hey, got him.
She makes me poop, then I make her pee. Why? Because we're flipping psychos!
Stay bombad. Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is up, everyone? This is your boy, the Cannon Junkie, and welcome to the second annual CREEPYPASTA extravaganza. There's not a real name or anything. It's just that we're listen, it is spooky season. We have done an entire month of just weird episodes of Bombadcast, slightly esoteric. It's been a fun time for at least me and Scotty and stuff. So, but guys, I hope that you are ready to get spooked. I hope you're ready to feel the thrills, the chills, the spine tingling. I hope you're ready to get your spines tingled. Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. But listen, you can't do a Halloween episode with just one guy. You can't do it with just me. So first of all, we've got just a fantastic array of guests on the show tonight, and we are so excited. But to help me before we bring them in, I'm going to bring in the Jason Voorhees to my Michael Myers, the one, the only, Mr. Scotty Jero. Scotty,
How you doing, Terry?
I'm doing pretty good.
Son.
It's good to see you. I'm glad that you were able to broadcast from hell and stuff. It's good to see you.
Pretty much where I'm at. Look, being with you is just like that, man. So that being said,
I get that a lot.
You can ask your ex.
I just start crying. Like,
so wait, hold on. There's a reason
Anyway.
she's your ex, man. I get it. That being said, look, here's the deal. I'm in hell. I'm living it up. It's gonna be a Bombad evening. We've got a couple of guests. They're gonna join us, but before we have those guests join us, it's actually, one of the guests, dog, is actually putting together this event. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Don't call me dog.
Look at this. Take that comment off the screen. What is this? What is happening here? Do you know what this is?
This good sir is
called
the Podathon 2021.
Right. Dude,
that's Podathon 2021. I didn't know if I should follow you on the what is going on here or not for a second there. So I decided to play the straight man.
This is 8 days away, and I'm not kidding. It is going to be the event of a century. As you can tell, we've been hyping it up. Pete has been doing a killer job. We have been doing all the behind-the-scenes production. In fact, we have a production meeting on Monday about it, and with 2 people already in this, Jerry himself. But November 6th, 2021, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to see all these wonderful shows featured, hosted by yours truly and Pete from around the galaxy. Jared, we making some incredible appearances. So will our buddy Jared. He'll show up at some point. As you can see, we've got a slew of shows: Force Connect, Tatooine Sun, Star Wars Explained, Tarkin Stop Shelf, Blue Bantha Mook Co., Podcast of the Wills, Holo Chronicles, Imperial Senate Pod, Pink Milk, Broaxium, Space Wobbles. We have David from BTBD on. Force Center will make an appearance. Matt Martin will. Ian Convery. Claudia Gray will make an appearance.
Michael Jordan.
Soul.
Dogs and cats.
Jesus
living
Christ.
together. Mass hysteria.
Everyone's going to be there. Jerry, we got to bring him in. We got to bring in our pod father as
we have to bring our
space.
Yes. Let's bring in the one and only, the Death Trooper himself, Pete Fletzer.
You need to get your eyes fixed.
The droid stole the freighter. Yeah, it's exciting to be here. Happy to be.
Thank you for
joining
us.
Yeah.
I think this is why Kylo Ren's so mellow, man. You wear that helmet, and you're just like, yeah, whatever.
I think the helmet's made
dad.
of pure melatonin or something.
It is. I am so excited to be here, boys. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Dude, we're stoked, man.
Fantastic.
We got a lot going on in our lives right now, Pete. And you and we got a lot going on, baby.
I am so excited about it. Podathon is just getting better all the time, and it's going to be. I think the kids say it'll be off the hook. Is that what they say today?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's roll with it.
It's
Yeah.
Gonna, it's going to be awesome. I mean, seriously, all the work that everybody's putting into it, and I'm excited to be hanging out with you guys for a full day, and also get to hang out with Jared and Nick and Jackson in the back producing for us. It's going to be just so much fun. Plus, the guests are ridiculous.
It's a dream come true. It's a dream
It's
come true.
amazing.
So that being said, I want to bring in our buddy Jared. Okay, I don't know if you know Jared. I haven't said it's been a minute, but Jared has his appearances, and right now his appearance is going to be incredible because he was here for the last Creepypasta. Jared, what's going on, baby? Look at this.
Pete, we should have done a better job coordinating outfits. This is just awkward now.
It is awkward. It is.
Look at this. Confused. As always, Chromecast needs to network up.
My headphones are too chunky to actually put the helmet on under it, so I'm sitting all like Quasimodo'd up, like I'm just trying to fit it around my head.
Oh,
with my like orange mood lighting in this TNAP studio.
I like it.
Thank you.
Very nice.
It does.
Thank
look
you.
nice. I love that studio. I think that's the best studio on the internet right there.
Look at it.
You are sitting in it, you lying son of a bitch.
Well,
but I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll say
DSLR. That's all I'm going to say.
I will say
it's amazing.
I think that Jared, I think you need to try to make it a Force Center sometime and walk away from your studio so that Jackson can screenshot it and then put it behind him.
I really want him to do that. Oh, I almost forgot.
He's the General Grievous of people's backgrounds. That's essentially he's adding him to his collection.
No, it's funny, Pete.
Episode without him sitting next to me.
I
don't know if Reagan's gonna be watching this right now, but just everyone, just calm.
Oh no!
Oh, there he is.
Oh my God, it's so intense.
Want me to set him off one time for the one time?
Yes.
Oh no! Yes.
Let's have him. We have to appease him.
We have to appease him.
Stop. Move away from the cookie jar.
All right, now we can get it.
I'm feeling spooky now. Holy hell.
Oh, here he is. It's a great appearance from our buddy Cookie Cop. He is there to police Bombadcast when we get out of a line.
A-cab.
So before we get out of line, I want to say this, okay? So last
I
year,
love the cigar look. That is so
thanks.
you.
This is all
It pulls the whole thing off. The hell background, it's great.
I'm the damn devil himself. No, let's see, an all-star cast. That's right. We are from Smash Mouth, people. So it's evident. I want to say this. Last year was such a success that Jerry felt the need that we should do this again. And that being said, I want to kind of bring up some of last year's for those that don't remember and those that may have forgotten. Michael submitted a handful last year. Pete also submitted one. Pete, yours last year, wasn't
Yes.
it about drifting through space? But like, what it was? Oh, no, it was great. It was about Tarkin, wasn't it? Or no?
No,
Correct.
no, it was a probe droid that was,
That was
sent to look through an asteroid field, which turned out to be the remains of Alderaan that was haunted.
That was it. That's
right.
good. Okay, I got it all flipped up.
With it being greatly implied that it was Brea Organa's ghost harassing a probe
Exactly.
droid.
Yes.
Jared
It was
remembers.
so good.
That
It was
oh
so
my
good.
god, that gave me goosebumps.
Scotty-
I occasionally will just randomly think about it and be like,
It's
No,
canon. It's canon.
if you guys do creepypasta for the next 20 years, I'll be ready to write a book of short stories because I'll shove them all in there.
That's what we'll have to do. We're gonna have to start our own Wikipedia page or something. You know, like okay, I love how Scotty though was like, "Was Scotty Pete? Was it the one about the tauntaun? It was the one about the tauntaun, right? Right?" As he's holding the cigar, I love you, Scotty.
He's throwing enough Star Wars words out. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
Oh man, and we also got a couple of them. I wrote one about a Gonk droid. Cam Ray, who will join us tonight as well, he wrote one about he called it Pasta Wars, but like it's like he understood the assignment. It's like it's so weird.
He
It's
understood
like,
the assignment too well. Like
yes, like
it was
it's a
like
student. Yeah.
so like I'm gonna make a Spider-Verse reference. You know that scene where Miles is like deliberately trying to get flunked out of the Visions Academy, and the teacher like hands him the test and goes, "You got everything wrong," which means you knew the right answer, which means I'm giving you a 100%. Like that's what Cam
That's
did, where it was like you chose exactly the opposite direction to go in. It was, and I remember making all kinds of. I remember like trying to pretend I was offended because I'm Italian, and I was like, I can't. This is just too goddamn funny.
Right.
So wait, he's doing it again, but from the perspective of the prequels. So it's gonna be a very similar stick.
Trade disputes and like racial stereotypes that age
And
like
this
milk. I
time-
can't wait.
This time though, it's not at Olive Garden. It's at Fazoli's. Okay, that's a thing, so.
Fazoli's. That's
Positive
great.
Fazoli's.
We also had
Fazoli.
how many? We had 3 from Michael last year as well. The Dead Spoke, Faceless Puppet, and Randy. Randy was a good one. Randy was the one about my encounter
Randy-
at Lowe's. No, Home Depot.
We need to talk about that again sometime because
We
that
really
was
do.
that was an incredible moment. So
Pete died. Sorry.
Pete,
OD'd.
Pete left.
He's gone.
It's
He
okay.
quit.
He's a
So
good.
quick.
There's only room for one Kylo Ren around here, old man.
Oh, he's back.
Oh shit!
Oh shit. Okay, never. Hi, Pete. How's it going, buddy? How are you?
So
This is insane already. This is already insane. Here we go.
the energy is fantastic. It's palpable. And you know what? How I want to start it off is we've gotten
It's
a good bit of
palpatinable.
submissions. Palpatinable.
You know that man knows what I'm talking about.
Our yeah, he does. Our submissions are from like 6 different people. Okay, ARS Michael McCoy, big fan of this show. One of the OG fan. I think we're going to title him that from here on out. The OG fan of Bombadcast wrote 3. Okay, this time he actually sent a audio as well this year. Pete wrote one and also an audio. We're going to listen to that. My student William wrote one. I wrote one. Jerry wrote one, and Cam Ray wrote one. Now, we also have a special write-in from Nick's daughter Lily. Okay, she wrote a creepypasta too. So I don't know if it's Star Wars theme. I'll have to look. I don't remember, but we're gonna actually start off with hers. Is that okay with y'all?
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to get spooky. I don't think it is about Star Wars, but it's spooky, and that's what we got to get in the spooky mindset.
Heck,
You
It's
know?
got some Star
Have
Wars
to
in
do.
there. I'm glancing at it. I'm seeing Rebels and Imperial and
Okay, that works.
Okay.
Tarkin and such. It also
That
might
works.
just be a meta thing, but I don't know. But it looks Star Warsy.
Meta Facebook. Let's go on. So I'm going to get I'm sure everyone's seen that today. I'm gonna get it pulled up and I will read it. Now what we can do, I think we did this last year. We can all take our time sharing and reading some of these.
Wait,
So,
you sent it to me too, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. I sent it to you through Twitter
Oh, okay.
DM.
Sorry.
So that being said, maybe we can read the 2 young people's thing because my student William sent one and Lily also sent one in too. Maybe we'll read that. How does that sound?
I like it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Good.
So I will read. Actually, does anyone want to read Lily's submission? Or I'll read Williams just because I know he's one of my kids. I'm
Okay.
sure you'd appreciate that.
I don't mind.
Which
Or,
one is
unless it was.
there's Lily's. Okay, I was pulling it up. Okay,
There we
got
go.
it.
All right, Jerry, you'll be the one to frighten us. We'll get you pulled up on the big screen.
Okay, here we go. Spooky. Get all. Hey, here we go. I'm the spookiest of all of us here. I think. You know,
I
don't
would
know.
say so.
Yeah, I would say so too. Usually I get creepy, and that's just
You're the
that's the
biggest
one you
creep.
don't want.
damn it.
Yeah, there's
I'm the biggest creep here.
fine line between
so let-
creepy and scary.
Let's stop talking about this because I want to give Lily Milky all of the. This is listen. I was when Scotty told me this, I was so honored. Lily, thank you so much for writing a creepypasta for us to read.
Yeah,
It
thank you,
seriously
kiddo.
made us feel so good. So, all right,
Kick
here we
ass.
go. It's so awesome. Here we go. By Lily Milky, creepypasta. Jack, wait! I yelled at my boyfriend. What do you mean you can't be with me? You can unless you're, I began to say. But he finished my sentence with one of the two phrases I have always hated since I became an Imperial. A spy, he hissed. No, I whispered. It's true, he said, then chuckles. And now I'm leaving to give the rebels the Imperial plans you told me about. But how could you remember them? They're some of the most complex ideas of that Grand Moff Tarkin designed himself. Oh, I took notes, he said excitedly. He began to walk away, and I was getting very angry. Jack Finnick and Dare, I yelled. Do not take another step, you heartless Lothrat.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
so
good.
into this
This
already.
is awesome.
I'm so
I love
into
it.
this already.
He looked at his foot, which was hovering above the floor of the gigantic Star Destroyer ship. Don't, I began. Jack stomped his foot noisily on the metal floor, and I had enough from this stupid rebel. At that moment, the power failed, and we were plunged into darkness. I began to hear officers and other Imperials panicking on the floors above. Good, this will hold them off, Jack said. I ran to him and get out my lightsaber. The burning red light reflected off the Chiss's blue-gray face and gleaming teeth.
I'm so
Good
into
reveal.
this.
Good reveals. I love this. This is so good, Lily.
Okay,
That was-
so Homegirl's
that
an
was good.
Inquisitor. I
That was a
dig it.
good battle. There was no obvious winner. We had equal strength and power. My arms and hands were searing with pain as we continued to duel in the dim light. He finally threw me to the ground and stood over me. I had never seen him like this. He was acting like the rebels I had always feared my whole life. Jack, stop, I said. You're frightening me. My whole body was shivering and shaking like a coward as I could feel the warm, sparkling tears on my face. Please don't do this, I yelled. I love you. He glanced at me with those scarlet, unforgiving eyes. I love you too, Juliet, Indiana, he said softly, but not more than the rebellion.
Whoa.
He opened his lightsaber.
Wait,
He hit
that's
her with that
sick.
Okoye.
I was
Hell
sick.
yeah. He opened his lightsaber. I called my lightsaber with the Force, and it returned to my trembling hands. At that moment, he swiped his deadly sword without giving a thought to it. I used mine to stab his chest. The noble spy fell to the ground, and the power happened to be restored throughout the ship. With my heart pounding in my chest, I slowly crawled closer to him. This was not the Chiss I had known before. Now his lifeless eyes were full of hate. Wow. But when I had known him in the past, he was loving and kind. So now, out of pure coincidence, a few Imperial officers entered the room to check on the cargo, only to find the body of Jack Finnick and Dare. They had never been looking for him, and now it was my fault that they had found him. Lily Milky.
Wow.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
That was incredible, Lily. Thank
Good
you
job,
for that.
kid. That was great.
Thank you. That was so
Natural
great.
writer, man.
No, how old is she?
13.
Holy cow.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
Amazing.
Nick, you're
There
gonna
was
have
a
you're gonna
line-
have some good money coming in your future if we can get those books made. Okay. All right.
I love
Seriously,
the,
that was amazing.
Where's the part about the saber?
The names were cool too. Like
the names
I
are
love
great.
What's her? Let me pull it up again real quick here. What was
That was fun. I like
the woman's name there? Yeah, Jack Finnick Indire, which
I
was
like
like,
that.
ooh, I
That's
like it. I like it a
dope.
lot.
It's a great
Juliet,
Star Wars name.
Indiana, which is a little it's like female Duncan, Idaho, and
That's what I thought.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love it.
I was just that was okay. So like in one of like the Nerd Academy group chats today, because Mike is liable to just like randomly start changing everybody's name in like the Facebook Messenger group.
Nice.
And today,
That's one.
like I was waiting for it. He changed everybody's names to Dune characters. And I could only assume this was how he would like cast Nerd Academy Dune, and I got Duncan Idaho, and I almost like threw my phone down in like excitement. I was like, yes, I got Duncan Idaho. Yeah, I wanted because I knew he was going to do it at some point. I knew it was coming. I was so happy to get Duncan Idaho.
It's like
Duncan
pulling
Idaho
the,
jam.
the autographed card. That's awesome.
Dude, Jared, as we all know, you fight like a demon. So, it's great.
So wait, I want to say
Something like
one
that.
line from this that I thought was incredible. I called my lightsaber with the Force, and it returned to my trembling hands. At that moment, he swiped his deadly sword without giving a thought to it. I used mine to stab his chest. That is dope. That literally would be in a
That
script
is
for Star Wars. Like
Yep.
that's
That is sick.
amazing writing. Man,
give Lily the next a Star Wars novel. Give her the next
Yes,
Star
sure.
Wars novel,
Yes.
please.
that was
That would be
good
incredible.
stuff. See, the thing about this is, and Michael and I were texting about it, but like when you do something like this, you don't get to write creatively often enough. Like we did in middle school, probably a good bit in high school, even in college. But like the second I started working, like I don't write creative anymore. I just don't. And so this kind of creepypasta stuff gives me a chance to do that. And I love that. I really, really love that. So awesome, Steve.
Sorry.
Holt.
Sorry.
So that being said, that is a strong start to this evening. What do you
Sure
say,
it
fellas?
is.
that
was
was
a great
very
start.
strong. That was
Can
I don't want my
it's all
story
downhill
read
from
now.
here
Yeah.
as newfound glory, you would say,
Can I stake a claim real quick?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
We do again, whatever order you guys want to do this in. I want a day at the fair.
Okay, perfect. You can do that.
Is that a High Republic one?
Heck, goddamn right it is.
Ah, I'm so
I skimmed it and I'm
excited!
like, oh, this is definitely about Valo. Oh my
Yeah, don't
god,
let
I'm gonna
those-
cry.
Don't let these two yuckos get it. They don't even know what's going on. Anyway,
We don't.
No, I would have to just enjoy the story for something
good,
that I have
you're good.
no idea
I'm
what it's all about.
I don't mean to throw you under the bus. I'm sorry, but I'm so effing pumped right now. Here
You're
we
not
go.
wrong.
Okay.
So I don't know if we want to move on, if you want to make any more commentary about that, but I will say that is one of the best starts we've had in Bombadcast in a minute.
a strong
Because
start.
No, that was phenomenal. I really liked there was something really fun about the kind of perspective. I don't know necessarily a perspective change, but the fact that what felt like an Imperial Inquisitor having a little bit more of a softer side than like what I'm assuming was like a force sensitive Chiss rebel spy. Like that was just cool as hell.
It's a great
just
combo
like
of
I'm like-
Star Wars stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
You just even naming off that stuff, I'm getting chills. Just like even
Yeah.
like, like all of that, the reveal of those things was so
like,
cool.
How do I put this? It felt, and I mean this as a compliment, because like this, like it felt so lived in Star Wars. Like there was an element of like Star Wars word salad, but in a good way, where it was like, it was the kind of like I'm gonna
A delicious word salad.
I'm gonna
right?
compare it
Yeah.
to like Lucino, even where there's this like understanding of the deep lore, where it's just
Yeah.
like boom, 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 boom. Like you just understand what you're talking about so well that like there's almost an effortlessness in like the way that the deep lore is integrated.
But what I'd add to that too is, for a 13-year-old, amazing. Like you are dropped, and this is classic Star Wars. You're dropped right in the middle of a story.
Yep.
You don't know the past. You don't know that story, but you know it by the time it's over. You feel like you've known him for 30 years. I mean, it works really well. It was such a great story. Well done.
Solid.
So good.
Solid.
Lily, you have
Well,
a future. You have a future in writing, man.
big snaps.
Very well done.
Big snaps for Lily.
we do need to move on because we've got a
I don't
lot
do
to go
that,
through. I
but
know
I do
Pete.
that.
Pete's audiobook is 20 minutes and Michael's is 25 minutes. So we've got some
Pete's
time we gotta go
audiobook.
through this. So that being said, William has to go. William's had to go run. He had to go do something real quick. So I'm going to read mine. I'm going to read mine.
Ooh.
Mine is quite an adventure. Let me get it pulled up. Give me 1 second, fellas.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. This Scotty, I want to see you light that cigar on one of those like stalagmites behind you or something, please.
Just bring it back and just light it up like that. I would love to. I would love
Scotty,
to.
the language in this, my God.
There is one foul language that could get me in trouble, but I'm gonna read it anyway.
I was gonna say, if you need a scapegoat, I will
bad
happily
language
drop
word.
a bomb for you.
Okay, wait, Jared, you will read that one line from that one character. Okay,
You got it.
Have you
We're
seen
casting.
the beginning? Have you seen the beginning documentary where he says that, or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking.
Okay, perfect. I don't know why.
I'm
it looks like
loving
I'm
this
freezing on-
already. I don't even know what yours is about yet, Scotty. Me and Scotty both wrote one, and like we don't know what each other's are about. It's great. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
I am ready. I don't know what's happening. I think my camera's
Your
messing up.
video is-
I don't
it's-
know what's
it's
happening.
Creepy
Yeah,
StreamYard.
So I'm gonna read it. Here we go. Maybe I won't pull myself up big. I thought I was going to, but it looked like a nightmare if that happened. No, I'm good now.
Do it.
I think.
You
Let's
gotta
try
pull
it.
yourself up big. Pull yourself up big.
All right, here we go. So if it'll let me, there we are. Here we go. I'm gonna read it from my monitor over here. The title's called Grim. Tunisia is a place often known for its dry, arid climate and immense sand dunes found all across the barren African land. Very few things can survive in such a harsh ecosystem, except for the few tenacious creatures that have adapted and taken on such a cruel life. Not many venture out into this hellish landscape, but the few that are brave enough will encounter many curious things rolling in the desert wind, especially after the night of 1,000 raindrops. This night I speak of will be but a whisper
I know where this
and a
is
legend of a great story,
Mm-hmm.
and in fact parallel the mythos of an older parable as told by the storyteller, which rhymes with his human experience quite poetically. Within a small region of desert lies several destroyed engines, sets, and a wig cast into the wind by forces of a natural type. Water is now abundant in this once dry land, and suddenly in the dark of night, a small desert shrew escapes from his flooded home looking for sanctuary. The panicked shrew scurries his way deep into a small cylinder engine covered by 3 winged prongs protruding out the sides in a triangular shape. All is safe at the moment until lightning strikes and the land rumble beneath his paws, only to have the small engine collapse into the ground. All went black and for the panicked shrew until the bright Tunisian sun awoke him, and in a voice of a very angry man echoed in the distance,
This is fucking grim.
the balding man stops. The balding man stops his way
Oh,
towards the shaped
damn.
engine, painted in gold and blue, where the shrew was hiding and bracing for his dear life. This very angry man smelt of cigarettes, coffee, and Czechoslovakian rage. The shrew felt that it wasn't his place to hide, especially since the man was growing in intense anger. So the shrew made a run for it. He ran and ran and ran, only in a straight line towards the dunes. But much to his surprise, he stumbled upon a desert deity not seen for several generations.
Jesus Christ.
This man had accumulated legacy in these parts, and often in shrew cultures was spoken of with reverence. A man dressed in flannel, aviator sunglasses, and white Reebok Club C85 towers over the shrew, leaving a silhouette while chanting the word Rickmeister. This monolithic figure eclipses the sun before the shrew's small, frightened black eyes, and with one fell movement of his foot, the shrew suffers an unfortunate demise. Death slowly takes over the once vibrant shrew, but even in death, The shrew was honored to be in the presence of this man until this man uttered the final phrase, "I'm going to crush you like a bug." One final stomp ended the shrew's existence, but his descendants continued to live on beyond him and told his stories for years to come. The story became legend, and legends often fade to obscurity until the time is right. The shrew's legacy will live on within each of you now, but one mystery still remains. Where is the lost wig?
Bravo.
It's so
Bravo.
Pixar, call this man. It's if you want to do a horror movie, he knows how to do a Pixar horror movie right there.
Oh man, mouse stories. So what do y'all think of that one?
I love that.
It took me a second. Once I knew where it was going, I couldn't wait for it to get there.
I mean,
I
as
like-
soon as
I
you said
started-
the beginning documentary and I reread the title, I was like, grim. I know exactly where this is going.
This is grim.
I was skimming,
This is
Right.
epic grim.
and I saw the this is from Grimm, and I was like, wait a minute, isn't that? Hold on.
Jared,
Hold on, I need to brain blast. And I'm like flipping through. I'm like, oh my God. Like it clicked. This is art. This is cinema.
You delivered the Rick McCown line better than I ever could because it's so good. Oh, it was
You
the
know,
best.
I used to do theater. So like
Theater.
My favorite line that I wrote was
Travis
this one right
Slattery,
here.
an actor.
A man dressed in flannel, aviator sunglasses, and a white Reblock Club C85s towers over the shrew, leaving a silhouette while chanting the word Rickmeister.
Rickmeister.
Rickmeister. Hey,
Rickmeister. Where's the
Where's the
Rickmeister?
Rickmeister?
Oh,
so
fellas,
goddamn funny.
I'm glad
Dude
y'all
Ewan.
like that. Dude, yes. Dude Ewan.
Locked out. Even I can't get past the security.
I couldn't find the Rickmeister, so
That's
was
the
that was
alternate
best I
ending.
could do.
Oh,
That's
The alternate ending.
oh God, it's good.
Oh my God,
Well,
that
thank
was
y'all,
awesome.
fellas. I appreciate it. That was supposed to be a little more lighthearted, not as intense.
I love it. I love it.
That's perfect.
It needs one of these real quick.
He's so strange.
Look,
Look,
my favorite part right now is that like I like at the my girlfriend texted me she was watching the stream, and now I am so excited to be like, well, guess we're watching the beginning documentary to
Oh
make
my God.
any of what's about to happen make sense.
Well, you can check that out, and then you can see Devin Michael.
on
Yeah.
ATG. Hey, it works.
You like that little plug? That was good.
That
That was a great
nice.
plug.
Like-
That was
like
phenomenal.
my
Professional
brother,
plugger.
the master.
The pro. Well, look, fellas.
That was
if you
great.
don't mind, I want to read Williams, and then we'll get back to getting real scary. I want to go to one of Michael's, and then we'll do Pete's after. So I don't know if one of y'all wants. You know
Which
what?
one's
I think
Williams?
I
I
should,
can take that one.
oh, you do? Perfect. Okay, this one's called Dave Filoni and the Talking Mayonnaise, I think. Or the black-eyed man. Oh, look, I'll let you read it.
Oh, William.
Wait,
I feel like I'm having a stroke. Can you read that again? What? Filoni and the Tale of the Black Eyed.
But
Okay.
It's a 2-pager, right? Okay, Dave Filoni and the Tale of the Black-Eyed Mayonnaise. Wow.
I love this.
Your voice is
This
so
my
hot,
favorite
Pete.
one already.
I will do my best. I will do my best. All right, here we go. Yes. It was a normal night in Baton Rouge. The people were coming home from work, some even going to work. People were driving to the airports to catch flights. People were going to dinner and football games. Chants filled the air. Go Tigers could be heard from miles away. This story isn't about all that, though. It's about a man named Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni lived a modest life. He sold glow sticks, but also helped with the Star Wars films, as you do. One night, whenever Dave was home alone, he headed to Burger King in his 2017 Hyundai. When he got to Burger King, he went in and ordered a Whopper with extra mayo. He didn't get a drink from Burger King because he wanted something special and delicious. Dave got in his car and drove to the local gas station. And when he got there, he filled up an icy cup with some Coke Icy and went to the counter. Many people find gas stations as places to meet people and interact with others. How old is this kid? So
What do you guys do? What do you guys do there?
So, as you should, Dave went up and kindly introduced himself to the clerk named Eric Gotterman. In Dave's head, something about Eric seemed off. Not thinking much about it, he drove home. Whenever Dave got home, he opened the door and turned on the lights. He went and sat in the chair, turning the TV on and watching it as he finished his food. He watched TV for a while and then fell asleep. This sounds like my nights. He slept for probably 2 hours, but he was awoken.
Would you go
by a
loiter at the
strange
gas
sound.
station at night, Pete?
Yes.
Introduce yourself to a random stranger.
It's usually truck stops. It was the TV telling him to open his door. Dave was scared, but unconsciously went and opened that door. What he saw was shocking. Eric from the gas station was there, and so were weird demons of darkness. Trioculus's body hit the floor suddenly. His face felt like a blazing inferno, while before it had burned with passion and love for his beloved queen of the empire. It was now agonizing. His ears rang, drowning out the noise around him. He could only hear the pounding of his dark heart. Trioculus couldn't even hear what he cried out as he fell. What was it he said? Demon of darkness. It was hard to remember. He was feeling tired. So tired. He fought to keep his eyes open and mind focused. He glanced down at his chest and saw the wound. His flesh was singed and burned, as was his now blood-soaked uniform. The blood flowed in sync with his rising heartbeat. How had this happened? Who had so violently objected to his marriage to Leia? This sounds like one of the Blue Bantha Milk AI stories.
I think
I think we
there was a
got our
mix-up.
pages mixed up.
Yeah, somehow
Here.
this
Like,
makes no sense at all.
Something happened. I was like, why is Trioculus there all of a sudden?
I'm
I was
reading
like,
this.
somebody's been watching. Oh, God damn it. You said his name and now Matt's here.
I'm reading this and I
Oh,
went
he
to
is
the next
here.
page. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Matt came here to see our noodles.
That's why this sounds like an AI story by Blue Bantha Milk.
Yeah, because
So wait, I'm so confused. Whose story are we reading? Michael's or Williams?
So wait, hold on.
It started out as
As it is in the document I'm looking at,
Yes.
the last paragraph on page 1 reads, whenever Dave got home, he opened the door and turned on the lights. He went and sat in his chair, turning on the TV, and as he watched it, he finished his food.
Right.
He watched TV for a while, fell asleep. He slept for probably 2 hours, but was awoken by a strange sound. It was the TV telling him to get up and open the door.
Right.
Dave was
William,
scared, but
you're
unconsciously
adding
he
some
went and
things.
opened that door. What he saw was shocking. Eric from the gas station was there, and so were weird mayonnaise containers with black
Okay,
eyes
good. I
making
don't
weird
have
noises.
that second page.
I
You
love
finish it up.
your version. It's like he opens the door, boom, Trioculus. What's happened? It's like-
that
But
was
you know what?
That was such a.
Since
a
I'm
jump
like
scare.
Ron Burgundy. I read whatever's on the teleprompter. I don't care if it makes sense. I go with it.
How did that happen? It worked out perfectly. Homo.
yeah.
Good night, San Diego.
What
Right.
happened?
I don't have
That's a-
that page, so you got to finish this up.
Okay.
Jared, go for it, man.
Pinch hitting.
Oh my
Eric
God.
from the gas station was there, and so were weird mayonnaise containers with black eyes making weird noises. They
Oh,
walked up the
shit.
stairs and grabbed Dave by the neck. Who
Oh,
are
no!
you? Dave screamed. Come with me, said Eric. Eric pulled Dave into the Icy Mobile and gave him every flavor of icy. It is unclear, but many think that Dave, Eric, and the mayonnaise are still friends today. The end.
I like to think
Popeye.
That's awesome. So
Like, is
good.
this just like that's a quote from Popeye?
The end. Popeye.
William, I don't know what happened, but that was the strangest mix-up of all time, and I'm so here for it.
That was so
Holy
incredible.
cow.
That deserves one of these. That's enough. That's enough of that. Holy moly.
Pete, you pulled it off somehow, though. That was incredible.
I just
don't know
kept.
how you did that.
I seriously, I feel like Ron Burgundy, man. Like you could have put
I got so confused because like the moment you
I
said
went with it, though.
Trioculus, I was like, the story ends here.
What?
Where'd Trioculus come from? Did Pete
The
get the
ad-lib.
Snyder cut version here that's like 4 hours long?
Well, I
Like,
was
what the
like-
shit?
I thought because I remember like William was so into that like Jedi Prince
Episode.
series that we did and
Yeah.
stuff, and so I thought he was just
Oh.
putting like I was like, this is so Bombad. It's like everything that we've talked about over the last several months, man.
Oh,
No, it
Holy
was just
crap.
two stories vivified together that somehow
We-
broke
so
at the
good.
right place.
we
Pete's
still-
such a pro. It sound. I was like, I'm here for
I was
it. Let's
hooked.
go.
I was going. I was running with it. Could not stop me.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Wow. Well,
Good job
I
on
will
Pod
say,
Daddy.
Great to be here, y'all. It's great to
William,
be here.
the dementia it kicked in a lot earlier than I thought.
Oh, damn.
Unbelievable.
William, this story was amazing.
William. Good job. That was great. Hey, I'm proud just for the black-eyed mayonnaise.
Yeah, that was
that
that was
was
awesome.
incredible.
The meeting
great
people at gas
references.
stations was that was a good one. Casually meeting someone at a gas.
That's where I'm gonna go find my next wife. You know, like
You'll find somebody there.
I
for
live next to
certain.
an interstate. I'm sure that I can find someone. It's fine. Whatever.
Jerry, how much have you had to drink tonight?
No, this is only my second beer. But like, I'm gonna go over there and be like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing? You know, I live in this town. You know, how you going? Like, you're traveling through. Okay, I'll let you go. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Excuse me.
Brilliant. Look,
That was so good.
William, I don't know how it happened, but the meshing of those stories was perfect. But William, your story was phenomenal. I
That's a
love that
great
Eric,
So much fun.
Just like
Eric
pure-
and Dave got in the icy mobile. That needs to be a Bombad thing now. I'm gonna make a shirt. Just
An
a
icy
white
mobile.
Like,
sandwich.
I just
Yeah.
imagine like it's a little like Hellraiser, but with like delicious icy and stuff. It's like you must don't cry. It's a waste of good suffering. But they're pumping him full of icy and stuff. You know?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was good. Man, I think we need to change the tone now. We need to get scary. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. We need to make it scary. So
Spook
Pete,
it.
want to listen to your audio? How does that sound?
It's up to you. I mean, it's one coherent story versus what I just tried to do to the other one. So
Hey, if it works,
Pete,
it
you
works.
created one of the best moments of the show. Honestly, that was so fantastic, man. That was so good.
I always try to become a clip. That's my
That's your
objective.
goal.
Pete, clip that Fletzer.
It's not often I go back and watch one of these, but I am 1,000% going to go back and watch this one tonight because that was
You're getting
so
called out.
insane.
You're getting called out here, my man.
I'm thinking for Potathon, I am gonna light it in case and kill me.
just like
just
stuck
quote Will
it all
Smith.
day.
To quote Will Smith, cigar right from Cuba. I just bite it. It's for the look. I don't light it.
Light it, switch.
There you go.
Ill way to
There you
Annie
go.
on the Ant Stay or Flay. Give it up, Jiggy. Make it feel like foreplay. Anyway,
Wow. Thanks, kiddo.
Very
Okay.
nice.
So I think we need to change a tone with Pete's. Jerry, do you mind if you share your screen? Because my bandwidth is having a nightmare tonight, and I do not know why.
Okay.
Creepy
Just-
bandwidth.
So just make sure you do share your tab, and then you'll share Pete's audio, and I don't think we'll have a problem then. Or one of y'all could do that.
Gotcha.
Regardless, I just don't
Hold
wanna
on here.
destroy the stream. with
You're
low
good. You're
quality.
good. Just keep talking. I'm gonna get it pulled up. You guys do good radio. While I'm
I can
while
tell
I'm
you this
doing it.
much: we have
Yes.
some awesome people in the chat. Blue Bantha Milk Co. I mean, we're having an
Yeah.
AI written story for Potathon, which is going to
Cannot
be
wait.
incredible. All I can say is that we haven't got a script yet, but you will see some appearances from some people in this video, I guess, stream right now. And Potathon is going to be wild. We also got our boy, we got Andy and Josh Holla Chronicles. They will also be making an appearance, which is very
Yes.
exciting. But
Jam packed, man.
Just-
Jam
Jerry,
I'm
Have you-
gonna kiss ass and pat my friends on the back here for a second.
kiss ass. Kiss
It's
to that.
it's just so good that you guys knew this. You know, like the
Oh,
legwork
thanks, man.
involved to organize everything. Like I'm legitimately excited that I get to like be a part of the behind the scenes.
Oh, dude, we're
Legitimately,
so happy that you're going to be a part of it. It's great. It's
I-
fun. You know,
it's
honestly,
legitimately an honor. Like I'm not kissing ass. Like
Here's the way
This
I
is
look
what
at it.
no, sorry, Pete.
No, please, I insist. See, this is why.
No, I was just saying, like, like this fandom, we all have seen how much of an absolute trash fire it can be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And seeing a moment of like good, like creators just all have a good heart going all in on like helping kids, where it's like, it's moments like that where I am a damn proud fan, and I'm proud of my homies for
it's going to be a great
going to be
day.
fun. And I just want to say too, the shows that are being a part of it they just jumped right in, and we really appreciate them being a part of the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be 15 hours of Star Wars talk, and we're going to make money for kids. I mean, you can't beat that. So that's a good day.
You really can't. You really can't.
Yeah, hey, show up next Saturday, guys. It's going to be a blast. Seriously.
I
don't know if we're going to read spooky stories or anything, but I've got this ready to roll if you guys are ready to roll. Thank you for kissing ass and everything like that.
So can we play the audio while we're in this mode? Try it, Jerry, and make sure you have the audio shared on it.
Can you hear it?
Happy Halloween. This is Pete Fletzer, and welcome.
We got it?
We got it. I'm ready when you are.
To Around the Galaxy. This special bonus episode is an original work of fan fiction by yours truly.
Straight from the podcast.
A ghost story told by young Padawans around campfires. A creepy tale that takes place beyond the Dune Sea on the planet Tatooine. I hope you enjoy this little story, and if you do, please share it with your friends.
Always plugging.
And now, ZMB1, a Star Wars fan fiction by Pete Fletzer.
Here we go.
The quality is insane. It's amazing.
Homesteaders don't like Jawas. It's not because they smell bad or are really difficult to understand, or because they're the lowest form of junk dealer in the whole galaxy. No, it's because ghosts follow them, and sometimes they never leave. I was a second-generation moisture farmer. My parents came to Tatooine for some unknown reason shortly after I was born. My father disappeared mysteriously one night around my 12th birthday, and my mother, well, she went mad. I was 16 when she went to Mos Espa for supplies and never returned. So for the next 20 years, I had been working the farm they had left me with a handful of droids, all while saving for a chance to make my escape from this sandy wasteland of a planet. Every few cycles, a moisture farmer can bring in an exceptionally good haul of water vapor from the sand fields. Sometimes it's enough to store, take care of yourself, and make some good credits in one of the mosses. Businesses in Mos Eisley are particularly fond of buying vapor for the handful of drinking establishments there, and the docking bays use it for ship maintenance. This year's moisture harvest was going to be big. The gauges were already redlining ahead of schedule, and I could tell from some of the extreme temperature changes that this was finally going to be a good year. The Jawas, they knew it too. When their enormous oxidized sandcrawler came trundling over Hyler's Dune, I was waiting outside my hut. I wasn't excited to see them, but I was hoping they'd have what I would need to get every drop I could out of the desert this season. I needed some new droids, one that could program the evaporators, and a load lifter to help transport the crop. Getting one would be a victory. If they had both, it was a sign of things to come. I leaned against the curved wall of my stone homestead hut and watched the battered brown rolling junk shop approach in a haze of windswept sand rolling closer and closer to my property. My droids, a CH model astromech that I called Chip, an R1 monitor droid, and my old reliable Gonk power bot scurried away to the farm shed behind my house. They may have been machines, but they seemed to inherently fear being stolen by the Jawa scavengers. The sandcrawler slowed and then came to a sudden creaking stop. The metallic grinding of rusted old gears, the tumbling of droids for sale in the hold, and the rattling of chains made for a cacophonous knell alerting me and anyone within a few kilometers that they had arrived. A door popped open at the top of the enormous vehicle, some 20 meters from the ground, and a chain dropped to the dusty basin floor. A Jawa, presumably the captain, slid down and hustled to me as I walked slowly toward the traveling used droid shop. The diminutive, hooded junk dealer called back to the sandcrawler as the other doors began to open, and I lifted my hand to tell him to stop. "I don't need to see your whole inventory," I said. exhausted by the transaction already. Let me tell you what I want. The foreman squawked in what I imagined was surprise. Jawa's faces were unseeable, and their yellow glowing eyes never moved, making it impossible to tell their expression. Moreover, since I never bothered to learn their language, I understood very few words that they said. He jabbered on at me and wagged a finger in my direction, but I persisted. All I really need is a load lifter and a programmer. The Jawa pondered a moment, lifting a black-gloved hand to his hidden face. He asked me something, again, I'm not sure what, and all I told him was, no, I only need those two things. He stood a moment, then spoke Jawa'ese, and the only thing I understood was his word for load lifter. Well, let me see that then, I said. Again, I pressed. You sure you don't have a programmer? After a moment's hesitation, he called back to the sandcrawler. This time, another couple of Jawas shouted something back. He shrugged and spoke at me again in his native tongue, and this time I picked up the words old and protocol droid. I rolled my eyes and remarked, protocol droids are average programmers at best. He shrugged indifferently at me as the load lifter he was offering limped off the sandcrawler toward me to inspect. It was disappointing. At one point it was colored orange, but most of the paint had scraped off, and the gunmetal gray that was beneath was now its predominant shade. There was one thing I understood fluently in Jawa'ese, and that was numbers. We negotiated a price for the load lifter that benefited him and allowed me to not feel entirely taken advantage of. But without a programmer, my evaporators would be on manual all season, reliant on me, my handful of old robots, and luck to reap the full harvest. With the deal done, the Jawa foreman headed back to his mobile scrap heap and was about to go back inside when I finally conceded with a shout, "All right, tell me more about that protocol droid." The Jawa froze, shouted to his crew, and within moments, a sky blue CZ unit walked from the base of the sandcrawler. I had seen these older model protocol droids before, and they were quite unsettling to me. With their humanoid shape, they always appeared to be an awkwardly walking suit of ancient armor. Not a single wire or gear was visible in the metal plating, and the head was designed to feature no discernible mouth for a speaker unit. However, for some reason, the servo droid company that designed them opted to put frozen metal lids that never moved and pupils on the photoreceptor eyes, giving the robot a haunted, tortured appearance. Carabast, I hated those things. As it approached, it raised a hand in greeting. The metal in its shoulder joints squealed, and its feet shuffled through the fluffy sand.
I am ZMB1 at your service,
it said. The voice was both pleasantly familiar and muffled at the same time. The Jawa went into a sales pitch, and the droid began to translate.
He says my vocoder has been damaged, but otherwise I am in first-class condition. He claims that I am fluent in 3 million forms of communication, and that I am able to program both evaporators and load lifters.
The Jawa continued his sales pitch.
Since you are considering a 2-for-1 deal, he says he's willing to give you an unprecedented discount.
I stepped closer to further examine the droid. It was surprisingly clean considering it had just emerged from a filthy sandcrawler and seemed to flinch when I pulled on some of the metal plating to ensure it was secure. I circled around ZMB1 as the Jawa watched my inspection from a few meters away, and then I swear I heard it whisper,
"Please buy me."
I ignored its plea. I was either hearing things or it was malfunctioning. "What kind of discount are we talking?" I asked, then offered a deal that satisfied the scavenger. And for the first time in all my years of dealing with them, I felt like I got the price that I wanted. I handed over my credits, and they removed their straining bolts from the load lifter and ZMB1. I shook my head and said, "All right, follow me." As I approached the droid shed, R1, Chip, and the Gonk sheepishly emerged from the workspace. Gonk immediately made his way to the load lifter on stubby legs and began to charge its battery. "You're next, ZMB1.
Please, call me Zim,
the droid said.
And I won't be needing a charge. I'm fine. For now.
I went to bed that night having shut down the farm for the evening. My droids were stored in the equipment shed, the lights were extinguished, and I laid in my bed as a rare triple full moon lit the night side of the planet in a pale gray. I knew it would be difficult to sleep in the glare, so I pulled the blanket up over my head and tried to bury it in the pillow to keep the light from my eyes. The plasta blinds on my windows had been broken for years, and I only seemed to remember to fix them on bright nights like this. I rolled over on one side, and then the other, and then finally gave up on sleep. I made my way to the kitchen for a snack past the remaining memories I had of my parents. My mother's clothes were still in a chest in my main sitting room, and my father's sabacc cards sat on a table. He tried to teach me how to play, but I was never really interested. I spent a lot of time with Chip. We had very little need for an astromech on the farm, but my dad let me keep it, almost as a pet. I sat at the stone table with some cool blue milk and some instant bread and stared blankly across the barren, moonlit dunes. I allowed my mind to wander and think about when I'd be able to get that magic number of credits, what kind of transport I'd get, and even where I might go. I dreamed of seeing the colorful jungles of Felucia or the lavish countryside of Naboo, but knew I'd probably settle for Sluis Van or Corellia, just get a job building ships and live a quiet, normal life. My silent meditation was fractured by a loud rattling noise from outside. A metallic crash came from the droid shed. My first thought was womp rats, as I hadn't seen Tusken Raiders in the area for years, but I grabbed my father's old blaster from a shelf beside the door, wrapped myself in my robe, and made my way outside. I was barely 3 meters from my hut when Chip came rolling at top speed from the shed, beeping and chirping excitedly. His head spun back toward the shed, then to me, then to the shed, and back to me again. I had no idea what the robot was saying, but it certainly seemed to be anxious about something. "Come on, buddy," I said. "Let's go get that new protocol droid so he can tell me what you're so upset about." Chip emitted an electronic scream at me that sounded like a warning. Then it quickly made its way between me and the shed, blocking my passage. "What's got you so spooked?" I asked, patting its faded red top, and pushed my way past into the shed. I flipped on a light and expected to see all my robots in the places I left them when I shut down for the evening. What I saw was not that at all. The only droid in sight was R1, the monitor droid, and it was knocked over in the center of the floor with its head sloppily removed from its cylindrical body. "What the criff?" was all I could muster, and Chip started to whir nervously. "Where's Gonk? Where's the new guy?" Chip whimpered. The shed was essentially one very large room with a door that I entered in, some stalls for the droids to rest and charge, and a back door. The stalls were empty, and I noticed the back door was wide open. "Oh, come on," I whined. "Thieves? On a triple moon? I just bought these guys." I held up my blaster ready to use it and walked cautiously through the back door. In the bright moonlit night, shadows fell across the pallid sandy plain. I saw a set of footprints that I'd seen many times before. Gonk would shuffle in the sand and leave a trail behind wherever he went, but the tracks usually disappeared quickly in the ever-shifting winds of Tatooine. The fact that I could still see them meant I could catch up to it. As I started to jog along the path, Chip whistled to me. "Not now, Chip," I said. As I followed the trail to the far side of the shed, I found Gonk. The boxy power droid was on its side, legs still walking and desperately trying to get itself upright. It made its trademark baritone sound, seemingly asking me for help. I put down my gun and tried to push it back onto its feet, but my footing slid in the loose sand as the weight was too much for me. "Where's that new load lifter when I need it?" I spat. "I'll be back for you." Just then, I heard Chip squeal a painful electronic cry that made my heart sink. I sprinted toward the back door of the shed where I had left my CH astromech, but I was too late. Chip was smoldering, his motivator yanked from his head and his photoreceptor lens shattered. It was at that moment I realized I left my gun with the Gonk. I spun in the desert powder to head back to get it, and standing 10 meters ahead of me was ZMB-1, safe and seemingly unharmed. "Oh, thank the maker they haven't gotten to you," I said. "Quick, stand guard here while I go get my gun."
Do you mean this one?
Zim inquired, holding up my father's gun. "Yes, and for Criff's sake, don't point that thing at me," I said. "Here, give it to me." As I approached Zim to take my weapon, I noticed Chip's gears dangling from the CZ unit's other hand. Suddenly, a blaster bolt seared my arm, ripping through my robe and barely slicing my bicep. I winced in pain.
Please don't take another step.
the droid said as carbon-heated smoke whispered from the blaster barrel. I grabbed my arm and shouted, "What the hell is wrong with you? Give me the weapon before I shut you down." The droid fired another shot, but it was way off its mark and missed me by at least 2 meters.
You won't be leaving the farm,
Zim said. "With your aim, I don't think it's your decision." I continued to move toward the droid, and it fired again, this time with stunning accuracy. I felt the laser bolt pierce my skin just below my rib, and the last thing I remembered was the burning pain that engulfed my entire chest as the bright moonlit sky turned black. I never thought about what I should expect when I died. As I emerged from the darkness, I heard rattling chains and grinding gears. I felt movement below me, but it was implied as I had no sense of my body. Light washed over my vision, but all I could see was blurred, inky blobs. The next sound I heard was Jawas whispering all around me, circling my presence. Then, through a haze of colorful lights, I swear I saw the vague shape of my father's face looking down at me. He smiled and his lips parted to speak. "Hello, son," the face said. "I've come back for you." His words were comforting as I adapted to my surroundings. I hadn't seen him in 25 years, and if this was death, I guess I was ready for it. I heard a whirring sound followed by a metallic click, and suddenly my vision became clear, clearer than I had ever remembered. What I saw made me want to scream, but I couldn't. I was inside a grimy sandcrawler surrounded by dozens of Jawas scurrying around the hold. Droid parts littered the floor, hung from chains on the walls, and bounced around in crates. To my left, ZMB-1, with its back turned, spoke Jawaese to the captain of the crew. I tried to cry out, but there was no way to produce a voice. I was disembodied, watching in horror as events unfolded around me. I heard drill blasters fire and plasticine clanging and watched machines stirring from all sides. ZMB-1 turned toward me, and to my revulsion, its faceplate was gone. I would have welcomed the creepy photoreceptor's missing mouthpiece over what I saw. It was my father's face, his hair matted in blood, his skin pale, and his eyes empty sockets. Although I had no feeling in my body, I raised my hands and looked to where they should be. In their place were silver metallic arms, and as I looked further, I realized my entire body was covered in shiny, blood-stained protocol droid plating. Again, I couldn't make a noise, but my mind was screaming. I looked to ZMB-1, or my father, for help, and watched as the Jawas reapplied his sky blue faceplate.
You aren't going anywhere,
Zim said. Another whir, another click, and suddenly I was able to scream, but it was not my voice. The metallic blare from the vocoder that produced my shriek forced the Jawas to cover their ears, and I heard other droids react in surprise around the sandcrawler. I reached for my face, and when my hands reached it, I heard the clack of metal on metal. I was covered literally from head to toe in droid plating. There was surprisingly no pain, but I could feel it screwed through my skin all the way into my bones. I couldn't tell what was me and what was droid. I panicked, but I was restrained on the slab I laid on, unable to move. I heard scraping metal footsteps as ZMB-1 walked to my side. I heard Zim's voice.
We are staying on the farm, together, forever.
The sandcrawler rolled over Hyler's dune and came to a stop in front of a familiar homestead some time later. Maybe it was days, maybe it was years. I had no way of knowing. A couple of young locals, followed by an old orange load lifter droid, came from their hut that sat next to a large droid shed and began speaking to the Jawas who had gone to greet them. ZMB-1 and I waited patiently in the droid hold of the sandcrawler, watching the transaction take place. After a few moments of discussion, the lead Jawa shouted something in our direction. I never could speak Jawa, so I looked to my counterpart.
Come on, ZMB-2,
Zim said.
We're home. Thank you for listening to ZMB-1.
That's it.
You get that punk ass up out of here. No, you're not welcome. You're not welcome.
Why?
Power of Cookie Cup compels you, you son of a bitch. Jesus Christ.
That was wild, man.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. Pete,
What
is there is something deep inside of you that's insane, man.
I need a shower.
That was crazy.
Wow. Well, I'm
I
glad
am unnerved.
That was
That
very that was very like Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
I don't know, just I don't know, like very holy cow. What the hell, man?
I
Some
You
Five
changed
Nights at
the-
Freddy's in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. Yeah. Yep.
The change of tone was so quick. It was, you know, like I get it. Like horror films should always have like something crazy towards the end. I was not expecting him to be like a Frankenstein monster thing, you know, a combination of droid and man. And that's the audio production was freaking amazing.
Here's, you know,
That
this
scream was horrifying.
That
this is-
really
this
was
is-
scary.
I worked
Two-
that. I felt like Ben Burt creating that scream. I used a couple different things.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You know, Pete, this is 2 years in a row, and I get about halfway through listening, and I went, "Son of a bitch, I know where this is going." Oh God! But like last year, and like not that this is a bad thing at all. Like last year, like it was like pretty quick into the story. I'm like, "Oh, this is Alderaan. Oh,
Yeah.
that it's gonna be Brea's ghost."
Right.
Like it's I was like, ooh, I'm really freaked out, but I was right. Hell yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, somehow the dad's the droid. Somehow's the this is only getting worse. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like it was just like I instant regret in like following along and like picking up your breadcrumbs where it was like, I want to be wrong. I just okay, we need to turn this back. We need to turn the ship around. I don't want to be here anymore. No.
That was like-
like
Oh man.
that was so good.
It was
glad
like
you
so
liked it.
freaking good.
it was like if
Appreciate that.
Star Wars was directed by Rob Zombie. For
A little
second
bit,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Like very just like holy hell. Like that was
Visceral.
intense.
Oh,
Cool.
this is
Well,
why we do this. Pete, how long did that take you? William asked that. I'm curious too.
It was a couple days. It was
Yeah?
it started with I found an image of a CZ droid. That's for those that don't know, that's that really creepy looking one that you see really briefly in the background on the way when Luke's selling the land speeder. And I was and
Yes.
actually Regal Robot did a bust of one as well. And I was like, that is the ugliest, creepiest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know how the story kind of came from there, and it just kind of built itself. Once I decided that that it was going to be a person in the, you know, like a zombie in there or something in that suit of robot armor,
Dark
and
side
then
of the
just
Force
kinda went
is a
from there.
pathway to many abilities, some consider to be unnatural.
So that's
Oh
that.
God.
Pete, that was some heavy stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the way Pete writes, and the audio quality really is like Star Wars audiobook quality. That really
Yeah.
freaked
Oh
me
yeah,
out.
no. The production is it's 100% just like what they do with the Star Wars audiobooks and stuff like that.
It's amazing.
Seriously, so good.
Good.
Hire
Glad-
this
glad
man.
you liked it.
I'm gonna carry that scream with me for a long time.
That was yes.
It was very startling. Very startling.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy writing that one, Pete? I know sometimes you start something like at least I do when I write.
Yeah.
I start something and I'm like, I don't even enjoy it anymore. But like the
Yeah.
whole way through, did you like when it comes to writing, because Pete really wrote a long story with this one. When it comes to writing, do you have it like sketched out first, or was it one of those stream of consciousness where you're like, oh, this is gonna go there?
Just about everything I write, I have like a basic. It starts with one sort of germ of an idea, and then it's funny because the fact that I did it in just a couple days is bizarre because the story evolved and changed quite a bit as to who was actually in the droid. The main thing that I wanted was this guy. It started with actually the CZ droid, and then that line that people don't like Jawas because sometimes ghosts follow them and they never leave. And I didn't know where I was going to go from there. And then I kind of let it happen. But yeah,
following up on the it's scary. I googled it, and it is what I thought it was, and it is hard to look at.
Yeah, the droid itself. Oh yeah,
yeah, it's weird to look at, but it's fun. I'll do a creepypasta for you next year too.
It's just
Hell yeah, man.
The atmosphere you build, but it wasn't like a how do I say this? It was one of those things where it's very. We know Tatooine, right? We know how scary Tatooine can probably be, but the way you convey it through this story was strong. Because I've always thought Tatooine was an eerie place, and I think Kenobi will deliver on that level too. But we haven't seen like creepy Tatooine, and that, damn dude, that was 100%. Oh my god, Pete!
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
You nailed it, man. I guess we need to keep going. We've got a bunch more submissions. We've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes. I don't know if any of y'all have to leave or stay, but I can say this much. We do have another person in the wings. Do we want to change the tone, or do we want to keep it creepy? Because I know Cam.
I want to keep it creepy because I am chomping at the bit to read the High Republic one.
Okay, so Michael has an.
I was going to say, if you need a palate cleanser, I know it doesn't know. I don't know. Let's go.
I'm fine with let's do the High Republic one for the sake of Jared because he's really antsy and I think makes me excited. So I'm going to get him pulled up big and we're going to listen to him read this story. This is from Michael McCoy, who is ARS Michael.
ARS Michael.
Yes.
Michael the legend.
A day at the fair. Morrow ran. He ran from the blaster fire in the streets, the explosions in the skies above him, and from the approaching smoke threatening to consume everyone in the panicked crowd. How did the Republic Fair go so wrong? The Republic was supposed to be able to protect its citizens from the Nile, yet right now no one was protecting him as he ran with the crowd. Morrow inhaled sharply as he suddenly realized he didn't know where his friends were. They had been just beside him a moment ago, hadn't they? Or had Morrow run off in such a panic that he had left his own friends behind? Before he could call out their names, Morrow was knocked to the ground by the horde of frightened civilians desperate to escape the Nile. They continued running, trampling over him. Morrow couldn't breathe as he was continually stepped on, his body crushed under their collective weight. He spat blood onto the pavement, desperate for a reprieve. No one stopped to help him. No, so much for the spirit of unity. Mercifully, the trampling eventually ended as the crowd's screams faded into the distance and was drowned out by the cacophony of blasters, bombs, and death. Morrow rolled over. Every inch of his body ached. He couldn't muster the strength to move as the Nile's gas surrounded him. His eyes burned as he writhed helplessly on the ground. He began coughing violently, struggling to breathe through the thick cloud. A silhouette appeared through the fog. Morrow couldn't make out who or what it was until it loomed over him. Even then, he wasn't sure if it was a man or a droid. It looked to have skin over its arms, but its face looked large, blocky, and metallic. A deep, raspy voice echoed from the monster standing over him. It was one of the Nile, and Morrow couldn't move or fight back. Morrow desperately looked for help, though it was nearly impossible to see through the gas. You could see a bright blue light in the distance. It wasn't a blaster bolt. It was standing still. It was a lightsaber. There was a Jedi nearby. Morrow tried to call for help, but the only sound his lungs could make was a quiet wheeze. He reached out one hand as though it would help. The light moved and grew fainter. The Jedi was leaving without him. Did he not notice Morrow? Or did he just not care? Either way, Morrow's last hope was now gone, leaving him alone with the monster. It pointed a blaster rifle at Morrow, its laughter never ceasing. It relished Morrow's misery. The cruel laughter was the last thing Morrow heard. The Jedi didn't save him. The Republic didn't save him. If they were all the Republic, then the Republic was helpless.
Holy hell.
Wow.
And that Imagine that for 20 chapters, and that's Rising Storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No lie. No lie. That
Wow.
seriously, that brutal for 20 chapters.
Dang.
I'm
That
telling
was
you.
great. That was
Holy hell.
That was awesome. And
Michael,
I know,
that fits right in with the story, man. That fits right in.
I've read Light of Jedi and I know what all the phrases mean. I mean, obviously the fair and everything. I mean, a lot of that was hyped up to that. And I had not known that's how the fair turns out, which is dope. But at the same exact time, Michael, you added a layer to Star Wars that I was not expecting. That was gruesome. That was more of like a hopeless horror movie, you know? That was great.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
really it. You know, it's funny. You watch like different type. You brought it up, Scotty. You watch different types of horror movies and different types of things, and this is like if you focused on one of those little side deaths that you don't even account for when you watch a movie or read a book or whatever. You're just like 12 people were killed. You're like, oh, okay. But this was like this guy, like, and just watching that and imagine the feeling of hopelessness. It's just, it was great.
The
Very well
trample
done,
part.
Michael.
If I
That
could
was
make a
awesome.
comparison, if we're talking horror movies, and granted, this is part of this because it's in my mind because I just watched it. This feels like the ending of Us, and spoilers.
Right.
There is just this overwhelming sense of dread
Mhm.
that is just so omnipresent in the last 10 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
Like between watching Adelaide come unglued in the way that she like brutally kills Red, and like just not knowing quite how to process seeing like the chain of bodies, everybody's hands linked at the end of Us,
Right.
that's what it kind of evoked, is that like hopeless, like what the hell am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Right.
What do I do?
Mhm.
What do I do? Because it all hope is lost.
God, that
Yeah.
was good.
That was
So
great.
good, Michael. So good. And I just, man, I don't know. Again, I love the High Republic so much. That was so incredible. That was so good, man.
That
Thank
was
you for
dope.
that. Thank you for that.
Michael also has an audio one. And we also have, let's see how many more we've got. We've got Day of the Fair. We've got Demon of Darkness. We did Pete's. We did mine.
We just did
Jerry,
Day of the Fair. Yeah.
you have yours, don't you? But is it scary or do you want to make it funny? Because what I was thinking is
I'll say this. It's got a little bit of both. I think it's in the horror comedy genre, but
so should we keep Michael's train going, then do yours, and then end on the amazing Cam Ray, who's actually in the studio? I'm gonna bring him in a second. Hopefully he's ready.
I
I think
see
he's
him.
ready. Cam, give me
I
a
was gonna say,
thumbs up
if you
you're
wanted
ready.
to get a little bit of, we've had a little bit. I mean,
Oh.
we had the I mean, Lovecraftian horror that was
Yes.
Pete's. We had the hopelessness. If you want just like a little, can we maybe just? It's not a long story. It's a reprieve, maybe. I'll
Yes.
go ahead if you don't. I don't mind
I'm
going
gonna
ahead.
bring Cam in real quick. Hold on, Cam.
Bring him on in.
What's up?
What's up,
Cam?
Cam?
How you guys
Where's
doing?
Bub? We're here for the Bub.
He had to go to sleep past his bedtime and
Past
everything.
his bedtime.
No, it's not.
Okay, but-
Oh my
oh
god!
my god!
He's full of lies and you knew it.
Okay, Bob, listen,
Inexplicably, this is the
my
first
show.
time Cam and I are like on a show together,
Me too. I think right.
like, which is crazy because we all get around a lot.
Sorry,
Bub, first time caller, long time fan. It's fine. Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
he's-
Jared,
doing the
Cam
band.
and I were both on Good Morning America with Dave Filoni. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
high five, Cam.
Keep
High five.
plugging.
There we
Keep
go.
plugging, Pete. Keep plugging.
Were you
That was
guys the
crazy.
ones holding that sign outside of the window or something? Like,
Yeah, it said something
Bury me,
like
Dave.
the Filoni verse will decanonize the sequels, something like that.
yeah.
Or no, I
that's exactly
forgot.
what it
No,
is.
that's Scotty's buddy, Paul Stanley, who's in the Phantom Menace now.
I like your mug, Cam. By the way,
Well, thanks.
very nice. I like
It is Christmas ween after all.
Christmas Ween. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It's Christmas Ween.
And eggnog is flowing like milk and eggs.
Yeah.
Nog.
I like it. I like milk
Yes.
egg.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, this is great, Cam. Glad you could join us. Cam, what did you
Yeah,
think
thanks
of
for having me.
What do you think of Pete's audio? Was that wild, dude?
Yeah, I almost just hit the leave studio button. Yeah, Pete, that's like, oh my
Me
God.
too.
I can't wait to hear it again. That was intense. I was just glued in. So yeah,
it was
glad
awesome.
you liked it,
it
man.
was great. And I thought,
was
I
awesome.
thought I saw the twist coming and all, but it still got me. So it was good.
Cool.
Hell
done.
yeah. Well,
Kept
Jerry,
us guessing, man. Go
Just
ahead.
real quick with Pete's. I know I was trying to say this earlier, and I think I found the best words. The best twists, in my opinion, are the ones that you see coming and then they happen, and then like they don't stop developing. And it's like it's just that like I want to put this back in the bottle. I want to put this back in the bottle. Make it go away, and it doesn't stop.
No.
Like
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's great. Okay, the robot turned on you. Like, story's over. That was a great. And then it's just That's just the beginning.
No, it gets worse, people.
Right.
It gets worse from here. Okay,
It's just one finger that we've cut off. So.
a wise man once said, "This is fucking grim."
well, Jerry, let's keep it going. I
Sure.
want to hear yours.
All right. So I wrote one. I wrote this about Scotty. Okay. So this is starring the Scott Jero. Okay. Yeah. Pull that down so we can see your lovely face. Okay?
I want to see it. I want to see Cam.
I don't even know if I want to say the title because I'm afraid it's going to give it away.
Okay, then don't.
Okay?
Then don't.
Okay.
We can do the title at the end.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I'll do like that whole thing where like at the end credits, it like there's the title. Here it is. Here's what the movie was called in case you didn't know what you were seeing. Okay, here we go.
Is it the one that starts with Rick McCallum's sweaty, hot, naked body?
It is not. I
Very
actually
tight
didn't
is.
put it in the thing. But I am excited to hear that one.
I'm done being a dick. I'm sorry.
Here we go. The bright morning sun of a new day shone through a crack in the blinds that rested on the closed eye of one Scottled Delano Jero. It was time to get up for work, but where that would fill most with dread, this was not the case for Scotty. Scotty had his dream job. He was a teacher, a molder of young minds. That's mold as in like clay, not as in like, fungus. So, just so you know. He bounded out of bed quickly and began his morning routine. Make bed, check. Shower, check. Hair molded into a magnificent crimson wave, check. However, as Scotty began to joyously floss, he heard a strange noise that sounded like the sound of a slithering creature on linoleum. As quickly as he had noticed it, it was gone. He shrugged and continued his jolly dental ritual. Later that day, after Scotty had let his class leave for lunch, he sat in the peace and quiet of his empty classroom. A sigh of peaceful relaxation left his lungs as he basked in the quiet, and he pontificated on how he felt as if he was the only person in the entire building. Suddenly, an all too familiar clamor broke the peaceful silence. Was that the sound from this morning? Scotty thought, only once before his concentration was broken yet again by the same slithering noise. Feeling somewhat safe behind his closed door, Scotty assured himself that it was probably just the janitor, and besides, it was all the way at the other end of the hall. But as Scotty reassured his steadily growing uneasiness, the sound continued and got closer. And closer. And closer. Until, to his horror, it stopped right as it got to his door. The silence was deafening. What could this be? Was someone messing with him? Maybe his students were playing a prank on him. Ring! His heart nearly leapt out of his chest at the sound of the bell. The door slammed. That was a jump scare. So, the door slammed open, and students came. And his students came pouring back in. Later that night, after staying up late to solidify his lesson plans for the next month, he blearily stumbled off to bed. Slowly, he turned the knob and opened the door silently so as to not disturb his partner, who was long asleep. He creeped to the edge of the bed, but as he neared it, he stepped up onto something soft, yet firm, and then back off on the other side. But as he did, he heard an inhuman squeal of pain. Wow! Wow!
What the hell?
Then the slithering sound began again, as loud as ever. He was not alone. He nervously called for his Google Home to turn on the master bedroom light, bracing for what terror awaited his eyes when the smart bulbs illuminated. There, before Scotty, was a mass of blubber with arms. It was like a slug, but with arms and clearly discernible facial features. It was slimy all over, and it smelled like rotting, sun-baked garbage. It was green all over, save for a tan belly and face. In fact, the creature's tan skin extended high to the top of his head, like a balding, middle-aged man. It reminded Scotty of actor and lead on the early 2000s cop drama The Shield, Michael Chiklis. The creature took a few heaving breaths and looked Scotty dead in the eyes and spoke.
No
Scotty,
way.
Scotty, the beast articulated.
No way.
You're a wonderful human being. This has been Slug.
Slug! Jerry! You
Slam
did
poetry.
it!
Slam
You
poetry.
did it!
I wrote that tonight. So there you go.
Dude, you did it. My least favorite thing in Star Wars, and you brought it into a creepypasta.
That would be the
I am-
scariest thing for you.
That is
Like, did you see
truly-
where it was going at all?
No,
Like, I want to.
no.
Okay.
Wow.
So, reactions, please. I know Scotty too well, honestly.
I just want to say I love The Shield. And that was
Shield?
so goddamn specific. It made me very happy.
I actually have Michael Chiklis Jabba right here for comment and everything.
There
but it goes so high. It goes so. It really looks like just like anyway.
Wow.
I know that's Scotty's favorite thing, and so I had to say that. I know that's your least favorite line. Everything. So that was for you, my friend.
That
was
is
for you.
terrifying. I loved how I just love, and I do have those moments. That's no joke. Like tomorrow, I don't have to do recess duty, and it's a Friday. Literally, like the second they leave that room, it is. I wish y'all could understand. It's like bliss. It's like perfection.
See, I didn't know that exactly, but
literally, you nailed that.
You're gonna wait
You
for that
nailed it perfectly.
noise.
I am.
tomorrow.
It's gonna freak me out so much.
That was supposed to be him slithering around. And
I thought the
everything
sound
like that.
effect was excellent. I give the
Yeah,
sound
thank
effect
you,
an
thank
A
you.
plus. Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't have the sound design of a Pete Fletzer, but I do try to give a
mouth sounds are better. And I think there's a
sounds.
future in ASMR for you. I think.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Man, Jerry, that was impressive. You saw this together in one night.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome.
I imagine like your morning routine is like a Disney princess, frankly.
And it is.
Because you're just so positive. I just imagine you get up and like birds help you get dressed and shit like that. So
That's funny.
I want to call attention to one of Michael's comments real quick.
Yeah.
Because he and I were definitely on the same wavelength.
Oh,
I thought Jerry's creepypasta was going to be Space Alex Jones, but this is so much better. I really thought it was going to end with like the skittering was just like out of nowhere, just they're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the Gungans gay. Like I was like, it's going to be Space Alex Jones at the end.
Y'all thought I was one note.
No,
Jerry
you are
Cable
not.
is not one note. I am
You
not,
are not
one note.
one note. You are
Boom.
not one note.
Drop it. I
good.
do love this man right here, and that's why I wrote it about Scotty. There you go. So the bro love.
Loved it. I loved it. Thank you so much, Jerry. That was
I had so much fun writing it. I haven't wrote anything in a long time, so that was a blast.
It's high
bet it
in the
was.
morning.
That was brilliant. That was amazing. Wow.
So good.
That really threw me off. I loved that. I needed that. So
Did my jump scare work? I didn't get to get
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm clipping that. Just
So funny.
Man. So, what should we do next, fellas? We've got 2 more from Michael that we can enjoy. I think Pete's already read one chunk of the other Michael story, which is amazing.
Let's do Cam.
We also
I have
Let's
to
get
bolt
Cam.
soon, so I want to hear
Let's see.
Cam's
get
second
Cam's thing.
first story.
Cam,
and-
are you prepared to do your incredible creepypasta?
Well, I tell you what, I've got a disclaimer here. Yeah,
Here we go.
I've been searching for the time to finish this, and I have not completed my second episode. I've promised the world, and all I've got is probably a small island owned by Disney. To offer you guys tonight, but I mean, if you're okay with that, I could workshop what I have so far. It's maybe a part 1 of a 2-parter for my episode, my second episode of the Pasta Wars saga.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, and again, this
Leave
is
us
kind of one
hanging.
of those things where some of this may change, and I'd love to, like, when I finish it, I'll send you the completed product. But maybe I can just kind of workshop it if that's okay. And see where things go.
Here's one of my
Right.
favorite things about Cam Ray. I can never tell if this man is doing a bit or not. I like,
It's impossible. It's nearly impossible.
It is, yeah. It's probably a bad thing because like, when I'm not sarcastic, everyone thinks I'm sarcastic, and then when I am sarcastic, everyone thinks I'm sarcastic. So it kind of creates a problem.
I feel like live cam it might be better than taped cam, and
It's really not, because it's just a minute.
the goddamn class is killing me.
I'm trying to, and
I'm
also
gonna pee
I've got this
myself.
throat thing going on. We've been doing testing week at school this week, so I've been talking a lot.
Yeah.
I had a last minute gig come up this afternoon, and so I didn't get to finish. I like to do everything last minute. I'm a professional procrastinator, and also have a bit of attention deficit disorder going on. Actually, not a bit. That is not a bit. It's the opposite of a bit.
Hey, you're in a safe space. It's okay.
Oh
It's
man,
okay.
I tell you what, it's like if you're talking to me, like you need to give me a minute because I've got about 8 other conversations happening at the same time in my head. They have nothing to do with reality or anything important. So anyway, okay, sorry. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna ramble on. So let me go ahead and read this for you guys. So last year, we met the gang in Pasta Wars. Kind of the OT gang. Well, let's just go ahead and begin this, and then we'll go from there. So I don't have any music or any, I'll do my best on the voices. Please don't hate me. Some of these I'm still workshopping them. Okay. Okay. A long time ago, in an olive garden far, far away. Pasta Wars! Turmoil has engulfed the Olive Gardenic Republic. The greedy Fazoli's Trade Federation. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start over, guys. I missed the best part here. I'm writing it as we go, so that's all I have so far. But I'm gonna go and we'll do a little bit more now. Hold on just a second. Hold on, guys. Okay, all right. I wrote a little bit more. I thought it seemed a lot longer when I practiced. Far
I love this community so much.
It's Pasta Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Minestrone. Turmoil has engulfed the Olive Gardenic Republic. The greedy Fazoli's Trade Federation has stopped all shit. Including
Oh no, is this part of it?
Is this not working? Is it not going?
we had a little bit of a glitch there, but you're good.
We had a little glitch. You're good. You're back.
Is it breaking up here?
A little bit.
All right, let me do this, guys.
Somehow I feel like Cam has worked that into his bit.
I can't
Okay.
tell.
All right,
Whoa!
I'm using my less than stellar computer camera. Is this a little better?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
I was using a wireless camera thing that never worked right. Okay. All right. So should we start over? I mean, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm kind of
Take it from the Phantom Minestrone.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
I
okay.
still
My dad,
can't tell.
my dad approves.
Perfect. The Phantom Minestrone.
Hi, Chris.
Turmoil has engulfed the Olive Gardenic Republic. The greedy Fazoli's Trade Federation has stopped all shipping of breadsticks to the other questionably authentic Italian restaurants, including the small, peaceful Italian liquor store chain, Naboo's. While the board members of the Olive Gardenic Republic endlessly debate this alarming pasta chain of events, the Olive Garden president, Valora Michelli, dispatches 2 noodle knights, the keepers of pasta peace, Qui-Dole Gin and Obi-Wan Cannoli, to confront Newt Gunravioli, the evil leader of the Fazoli's Trade Federation. Qui-Dole Gin, a well-aged Italian gin and possibly the greatest noodle knight of all time, expecting short and successful negotiations, soon senses foul play and a sinister cloud of egg and flour that only existed in tales of the darker times for the Italian eatery industry. A phantom minestrone. Let's get out of here, Cannoli, before they find us. And they kill us, Dolgen remarks breathily. After a few benoodlings of Fazoli's fried mozzarella skewer guards using their pasta sabers, the Noodle Knights find refuge in the back of a Fazoli's J-Class cruiser, or FJ cruiser for short. While in hiding, Obi-Wan Cannoli jests. You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short as pastina. After sharing a smirk, the 2 Noodle Knights are hauled off in the FJ cruiser by its Fazoli's delivery driver, finally coming to a stop in the parking lot of the Naboo's headquarters. After slipping out of the cruiser while on their way to the entrance, Dolgen and Cannoli bump into a twice-baked, nearly flavorless cookie, Jar Jar Binks Gotti. And while his jokes are nearly as bland as his ingredients, Jar Jar proves to be a lot of fun for the kids. And he grows on you after 20 years of rewatches.
Hey, you sir, where are you going?
You, sir, should watch where you are going, Qui-Dole Jin says, or the Fazoli's noodles will find you, and they'll kill you. After sharing an awkward glance at Cannoli, who just shrugs at Dolgen's intense retort, Alini, Jar Jar then recognizes the keepers of Pasta Peace and replies,
Noodle Knights, you muy Bombad, Miss your loyal servant forever. Oh, and the Miss Jar Jar Binks Gotti.
That won't be necessary, Dolgen begins.
But Misa cannot return to the Gungan Cafe. Misa was fired and will be punished if they ever return. I now have no coffee to be dipped in. I'm useless. Please, mister.
Finding pity on the tall cookie, Obi-Wan Cannoli responds. It's a pleasure to meet you, Binks Gotti. As our new friend, could you help us out? We're trying to find the leader of Naboo's, Queen Amaretto. She is in grave danger, we fear. Do you happen to know where she can be found?
Yes, I can show you. But to get there, we must be going through the back of this store.
Jar Jar says as he shivers with unease.
Along with their new friend, Bing Scotty, the Noodle Knights head into Naboo's headquarters from the loading dock to warn Queen Amaretto of her diminishing safety. After coming close to being cooked and served several times by Fazoli's skewer guards, Dolgen, Cannoli, Bing Scotty, and Amaretto escape in the Queen's Naboozian Fiat. Also, tagging along for the escape was Rosé 2D2, a favorite wine at Naboo's and Olive Garden alike. After escaping safely, the gang is forced to make a pit stop at Tatooine's Italian Grill when the Fiat's exhaust system Dolgen and Amaretto meet a young Noodle who is quite the Formula One enthusiast and, what the friends soon discover, a smooth talker. My name is Anna Cannelloni Skywalking. Can I help you? Wow!
Oh my Jesus.
Anna Cannelloni Skywalking adjusts his boyish tone into a more mature one. Are you an angel hair pasta from above? Slow your roll, sweetheart, Amaretto says.
It's like the penguin in the trailer for the Batman.
I'm an adult beverage, and you will always be the little Anna Cannelloni I met at Tatooine. Defeated for but a moment, Anna Cannelloni's pride returns as he says, "It's okay, Toots. Once I am an adult beverage." Just as the awkwardness grows thicker than a genetically modified lasagna noodle, Anna Cannelloni's boss, Watorzo, barges into Tatooine. Hey, get back in your jar, little Anna Cannelloni. But I wanted to be in today's pasta race, Skywalking says. I could win a brand new Fiat exhaust system if I win. This is where it's kind of getting really, wake up at the end. I'll let you know when it's over. Did you just say a new Fiat exhaust system? Amaretto said. Continue on our mission. Anna Cannelloni perks up. Quite old Jen says, "You must win that pasta race, Anna Cannelloni, and you must join us in our journey and begin your training as a Noodle Knight before the Phantom Minestrone I felt finds you and kills you. The olive oil is strong with you, and your meatball count is higher than even Master Yoda Kata's." Anna Cannelloni perks up. I've always wanted to be a Noodle Knight and slaughter young linguinis. Not slaughter young linguinis. These are not going anywhere, Watorzo interjects. He and his mother are mine. Turning to Watorzo, Dolgen says, "We will take the boy and his mother. Your Noodle Knight tricks don't work on rice and noodles, but if Anakanni wins, you can take him. But his mama stays here. We have a party of 35 reserved for tomorrow night." Dolgen agrees to Watorzo's terms. Anna Cannelloni wins the pasta race and the Fiat parts, and the gang prepares to leave Tatooine's. Just then, out of a pot in the corner of the kitchen, a new and deliciously evil main course, Darth Chicken Marsala, leaps out of the container and attempts to attack the pasta friends. Dolgen's alcohol content, though, is too strong, and the friends make off in the Naboo's Fiat. Stay tuned for part 2 of episode 1 of Pasta Wars, The Phantom Minestrone. Will Cannelloni be accepted as a Pastawan in the Noodle Night program, even when Noodle Master Tiramisu Swindu shares his over-sugared and caffeinated opinions? Find out once Cam finds a 25th hour hidden in each day on Pasta Wars.
Oh,
and scene.
My God, Cam. Always.
Sorry, guys.
Effortless. No, that was incredible.
It's pretty rough.
There's not a joke in there that isn't perfect. Very well done.
Oh,
Very
thank
well
you,
done.
thank you. Yeah,
So committed to
it's
every
definitely
bit.
not tightened down. like I'd
Here's
like
what's
it.
impressive is his ability to do an Obi-Wan British accent but make it Italian at the same time. And his Jar Jar Biscotti was ridiculously good.
Yeah.
You got the Italian swing in the voice, but it was still, stereotypical, offensive Rastafarian, which was
Thank you. It's a lot of weird stares on the way to and from work. But
You know,
it works out.
it's remarkable because little Christopher Walken, young Anakin,
Right. That's
is
a tough
now
one.
going to be competing with the gut-wrenching scream from Pete's story. So I just have both of those things competing for dominance in my brain now. Thank you all.
That's the only thing better than Christopher Walken is a little prepubescent Christopher Walken.
that was so
that was
good.
fantastic. Very
Cam,
well done, Ken.
Well, thank
V,
you.
do you look up like just random pastas, or is this from memory? I'm just curious, like, because
No,
some
I'm
of these
just-
pastas I've never heard of. I mean,
No,
it's
I'm really
incredible.
smart is most of it. And also there's a great site that has the top 40 Italian pastas on it. That
The
stays
top
open.
40.
Yeah. I'll try to come up with my own, obviously, because I hate to I want to come up with everything on my own, but I pretty much steal everything. So yeah.
That wasn't
Scott,
bad
like
for
a few
something
of
you
them.
wrote just now, right?
Well, appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm a fast typer and appreciate it.
Dude, that was amazing.
That was
I'm-
fantastic, man.
Every year it gets one step further, and like I'm really eager for the sequel trilogy next year. Then your Mando one after, then your Bookable Effect. I mean, it's never going to end now. You can have a Rebels
No,
one.
it's got to go. Yeah, I've already started thinking about the sequel, and I haven't finished the prequel. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Damn, I'm just impressed with the fact that you committed to the bit all the way through, even as far as like the feuding restaurants. That is just so amazing, man.
Tatooinis, Naboo's. I mean, that's
We have a party of 34 coming tomorrow.
Oh my god,
so good, man. So good.
Thank y'all.
No, seriously, because like I've tried to write funny things, and it's never as hitting. Like it felt like every sentence had its own very small joke. Like if you weren't really listening to it, it wouldn't have caught. But like, damn, man, that is hard to do. I mean, it really is. You wrote within a bracket, and like I'm blown away.
Well, thank you.
Especially
Thank you.
with the time limit that you had. I'm just blown away by it. Just
Appreciate
incredible.
it.
Oh,
I'll put it out there once it's polished and all of that good stuff.
damn,
That was
dude.
great.
Oh man. Overall, I liked it, honestly. Not to say I liked it more than last year's, but like that. I'm a Phantom Menace guy, so it just felt more right.
I was gonna
And-
say,
Yeah.
like, of course, you like this way more than that one, just because
Oh.
you
Absolutely
love the
playing
Phantom
to
Menace.
the crowd.
Yeah.
The Phantom
Oh.
Minestrone. Perfect.
I am
You
going to
did it.
step away for one moment to use the restroom, but I shall return.
I'm just gonna stay right
Bye-bye.
here to use the restroom.
We're gonna
but-
follow you. No, just- yeah.
Oh my god, that was brilliant. I've seen Bub use the restroom on you, so
I need the eye
hopefully
patch.
it's-
Thank you. Little
Oh,
crypt
that's
for everyone.
Oh god, Pete, do you have to balance? I know
I
it's
do have
past
to
your
bounce. I
bedtime.
do. Yeah. I mean, geez, I'm old. So,
Old man.
but this was
All right.
awesome. I'm glad I stuck around for Cam's, and I'm going to pick up Michael's other stories when you do your replay tomorrow. So appreciate it, Cam. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you boys, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Very
you, Pete.
soon.
Love
Bye,
you, man.
Pete.
Yeah, peace.
Cam, that really was that was so full. I feel like I just ate an Italian meal. Like it just felt so good.
Oh, great.
It's funny.
You see, it's the opposite for me. I'm hungry now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wish I had I wish I had a fridge full of pasta right now.
Yes.
Like ready to just pop in the microwave.
Same here.
Oh, see, exactly. Honestly, Cam's version of the creepypasta is what I thought his whole thing was until a couple weeks ago. And that's the thing about Cam is he knows the assignment, but like at the same exact time he doesn't.
Well, like-
it's like
like-
amazing.
Like Jared was saying, I don't know if he was saying it on the air or what, like talking about like how Cam, like it's like you got every answer on the test wrong. You're trying to get it wrong and stuff, right?
Right.
So,
Exactly. It's like
perfect, man.
Oh,
Right.
brilliant. Well, if you want to stick around, Cam, that's terrifyingly close. If you want to stick around, Cam, you're more than welcome to. We're gonna go through. We only have 2 more stories, I believe.
I'd love to.
Next, our next one is actually an audio. I'll wait for Jared to get back. Actually, is it called Demon of Darkness? Is it the other one? I think Michael would know better than we do. It's the only one we haven't got to.
Probably. It's Michael. We got the Michael trilogy tonight.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get it open. My computer, when I open anything now, I don't know why it like slows me down. No, we're good. All right, I'm going to read Michael's, which is already kind of hinted at the very beginning because it bled in with Williams. So here we go. It's called Demon of Darkness.
Oh.
Demon of Darkness. Trioculus' body hit the floor suddenly. His chest felt like it was a blazing inferno. While before it had burned with a passion and love for his beloved queen of the empire, it was now agonizing. His ears rang, drowning out the noise around him. He could only hear the pounding of his dark heart. Trioculus couldn't even hear what he cried out as he fell. What was it he said? Demon of Darkness. It was hard to remember. He was feeling tired. So tired. He fought to keep his eyes open and mind focused. He glanced down at his chest and saw the wound. His flesh was singed and burned, as was his now blood-soaked uniform. The blood flowed in sync with his rising heartbeat. How had this happened? He was so violently objected to his marriage to Leia. It couldn't have been Leia. He had killed the vile Zorba, the Hutt, for her. She would never consider turning on him after that. Was there a rebel spy in the midst? Or had the dark prophet Kadan come to destroy the one true emperor? Trioculus looked up at the flashing red lights around him. He finally recognized as it was blaster fire. As he looked up, he saw the monstrosity that had mortally wounded him. His beloved Leia, his queen. Her true face now revealed. She was an abomination of flesh and machine, just like her father. There was no love in those glowing red eyes. They only showed hate and malice. Trioculus wept and looked away, unable to bear the sight any longer. Hissa was shouting something now, but he couldn't hear it. He thought back to the night he spent with Leia on his factory barge on Bespin and recalled she had called him an inhuman monster. If anything, she was the inhuman monster. She had taken the one light in his dark heart, his love, and used it as a weapon to kill him. The words he said to her that night echoed in the back of his mind. Is it so wrong to be a murderer or a liar or an inhuman monster? I may be all those things, but I still have a heart. That was the difference between them. If only he had loved someone else who had a heart. So amazing. Cam,
Nice.
we had an episode. I don't know if you know what that's in reference to, Cam, but that is the Jedi Prince series of books characters. It's
nice.
It is a insane selection of books.
It's a ride.
So is
It's
it
a ride in and of
worth
itself.
reading?
Or is it-
Worth watching our episodes about the
Yeah,
and
you
listening
can watch
to
our
Michael's
episodes.
podcast.
We can recap it or listen to Michael's podcast.
I'll go
it
check
is
it out.
It is a thing. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's
Okay.
like it's
I'm just gonna say
unreal.
I'm not gonna say too much. All I'm gonna say is Han Solo beeper.
Okay.
That's it.
And
It's-
that's all I'm gonna sell you on it. That's
And
all
I
I'm
will
gonna
say
sell you
one
on
other thing too for you, Cam. Drew Struzan did all the covers for this.
Oh,
like,
boy. Okay.
and like that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's done everything, and for some reason,
man.
he did these damned books.
They tricked him.
Michael, that was next
We're paid
level.
him.
Tear down Dagobah, put up a parking lot. Anyway, there's lots of
That's great.
references we have for that. Anyway,
Oh
Great
man,
writing.
Jared, welcome back, Jared.
welcome
you.
to the
We're-
madhouse.
we are going to conclude on one final audio, and it is from Michael. It is called "There Is No Death," which I think this one might be pretty serious. It might be. I don't know. But Jerry, do you mind pulling that up if that's okay?
Sure,
It's on the Google
Go ahead.
Drive.
Again, kiss some more ass and stuff, guys. Yeah.
I just got to say, just the name already gets me like jazzed because obviously that's part of the Jedi code. But if this is a creepypasta, this is probably going to be really dark and heavy.
I'm stoked. All I can tell you this much is that this creepypasta has topped last year's creepypasta. I didn't think that was possible. I really didn't. Like truly didn't. I was just blown away with how much effort everyone put into their own stuff. That was
also, I was inspired during this episode. I will be submitting one next year. I will probably have Pete make it sound cool, but I have an idea. I will write one and then I'll have Pete do the cool Pete shit and narrate it way better than I could. But I have an idea, so I will be submitting next year.
Write it down.
Pete's gonna get like a lot of like people like, can you produce this for me, please? Like, I just need a little.
I got 2 words for you.
Keep working, guys.
Vader slasher.
Vader slasher.
Oh,
there we go, Jared.
I'm intrigued.
Right. Man, nice. I'm down.
And by that I mean I'm gonna speed write this shit tonight. And then set a reminder on my phone for a year from now, for like September 15th of 2022 to be like, get a hold of Fletzer about the Vader slasher, and I'm gonna be like, shit, is that still in my Google Drive?
Oh, damn it!
Shit, damn, I should have done that a year ago.
Okay, let's see. All right, we are golden. Let's see. Can you guys hear this?
Click it.
Master.
Yes. Perfect.
All right.
We're going to pull us up big. So I don't think it might cause any pictures. Can you scroll through it and see if there's any pictures or anything just to make sure? Like, does anything
here? No. It's just, there is no death. There is the Force.
Okay, cool.
Master.
That being said, here we go. I'm ready when y'all are. We'll just enjoy it.
Okay. Here we go.
Master. Caius leapt from his bedroll, his heart racing at the sound of his apprentice's screams. His left hand went to the lightsaber hooked on his belt, but he hesitated before drawing it. He looked around the forest where he had made camp for the evening. Caius took a deep breath as he remembered where he was. There is no death. There is the Force. He repeated the mantra several times, finding his balance in the Force once more. He was on the planet Talson and had been for 6 months. His apprentice was one with the Force now and had been for 2 years. Like the rest of his dreams, it was just a memory. When Caius had recomposed himself, he went through the routine of packing his makeshift campsite. He had done it so many times now, it was almost comforting after such an abrupt awakening. It was becoming all too common for him to wake up like this. Caius continued through the forest for several hours toward a village he had yet to visit. The Force had guided him to Tulsan months ago, and he still wasn't sure why. He had wandered from settlement to settlement with no clear indication as to what his purpose was here. As he climbed over one last hill, he could finally see the village. It was near the ocean, which was also visible in the distance. A single island sat on the horizon with a dark storm cloud hanging over it. He had a bad feeling about that place. He climbed down the hill and headed toward the village. Caius proceeded down its main street. It seemed fairly humble, made of wooden shacks and ramshackle huts. There were very few people out and about, however. The villagers seemed to mostly keep to themselves, only interacting with each other to trade goods. "You there, young wanderer," an elderly female voice cried out. Caius stopped. He was almost 40. He wouldn't have considered himself young. Caius turned to see an old Zabrak woman sitting on a cushion on the side of the road. She looked at him with a smile while shuffling a deck of cards. Care to have your fortune told? It only costs 5 credits. Kaya smiled. She looked as though she needed the credits more than he did. A Jedi, even one in hiding, didn't need many credits to get by. Sure, why not?
I don't trust
I've
it.
always been slightly curious about stuff like this anyway. He handed her the credits and sat cross-legged across from her. Is that a sabacc deck? The woman laughed. It is indeed. She fanned out the cards in her hands. Pick the first of your 3 cards. Caius pulled a card near the center of the deck and turned it face up as he placed it on the ground between them. It was a -2. This card represents your past, the Queen of Air and Darkness. There was a girl you once knew, but now she is elusive, ethereal. Caius smiled sadly, thinking of his apprentice, Soraya. True, your cards are correct, though the last word I would have ever associated with her was darkness. Darkness takes us all, eventually, the woman remarked, her voice low and rough.
Nope.
Take another card. This one represents your present. Caius pulled a card near the top of the deck, a -15 this time. The image on this card was a caricature of a sinister Deveronian. This card is the evil one. A dark shadow looms over you. The evil one sees you, but you don't see it. Not yet. Thunder continued to echo from the storm over the nearby island. Caius found it hard to ignore the ominous weather. So, the last card will be my future? He asked. He was growing more eager to move this along. He didn't believe in fortune-telling, but there was something unsettling about all of this. Very astute. Pick one last card. Caius drew the card at the bottom of the deck. A chill ran down his spine as he turned it over. -13. Demise.
That's bad.
The woman did not need to elaborate on the meaning of this card. It was obvious to both of them. She looked concerned for a moment before laughing uncomfortably. Forgive me. The cards are not typically so macabre. It's quite all right, Caius said as he stood back up. It's just a game. Still, there was something nagging at him. He reached out with the force, trying to identify if the disturbance was within himself or something external. As he did, the old woman's eyes suddenly turned from her cards back to him. Now that is interesting, she said. The words came from the woman, but the voice was not hers. What did you say? The woman blinked. I didn't say anything. Caius reached out once more, sensing genuine confusion in the old woman. However, he did sense a pulsating darkness in the distance. He turned toward the ocean, looking at the island on the horizon. What can you tell me about that island? The woman looked to the ocean while absent-mindedly rubbing one of her horns. That is a dark place. The storm never leaves that island. It always rages, never ceasing. That cloud has been there since I was a child, and will be there long after I am dead. There is no death, Caius thought. What causes it? The woman shrugged. Some say it was cursed by an old sea god. Others think it's corrupted by dark energy from the island itself. I see. Thank you, ma'am. Caius turned and walked away from the village toward the shore as the sun began to set. The cards were one thing. The momentary change in the woman when he reached out in the force was something else entirely. And he had a hunch the island was the epicenter of the disturbance. Was this why the force brought him here? To investigate the darkness on the island? Or perhaps to stop someone hiding there? He set up his campsite for the evening near the shore. Caius sat awake for a while under the stars, watching the lightning from the storm. It was not ordinary lightning. It seemed to alternate between flashes of blue, purple, and even red. As unsettled as he was, he couldn't help but feel nostalgic watching the storm. It brought back memories of the many nights spent with his Padawan, Soraya. She had found storms to be calming, and thus they often meditated together during storms. I know you're still with me, Caius whispered, because I know the Force is with me. He crawled into his tent and let his concern for the next day slip away as he fell asleep.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Master Caius, come take a look at this, Soraya called out from across the room. They appeared to be in some sort of ancient library. Many shelves had collapsed and were covered with dust and cobwebs. Caius approached the short human girl with auburn hair hunched over an old tome. Find something interesting? Caius asked his apprentice. That's one way to put it. Caius flipped through several pages. It's written in several different languages, so I could only pick up on some of it. But there's a lot of mentions of the dark side. Caius stopped at a page of illustrations in which a dark warrior conjured lightning from his fingertips. And these images speak for themselves. It appears to be a manual on how to use certain dark side techniques. How did you find this book, Soraya? That shelf there is old. Most of the books are covered in dust. This one, though, was spotless, clean. Which means someone was recently reading it. Caius scanned their surroundings, now actively looking for danger. Caius turned sharply at the sound of an igniting lightsaber.
Him tripping.
He saw Soraya with her glowing yellow blade in a stance suggesting she was ready for combat. Too soon? She asked as she saw her master facing her. Caius smirked. Not at all. I think the potential danger means we should both use extreme caution and prepare for the possibility of combat. He drew his own lightsaber and activated its vibrant blue blade. Two stood side by side, master and apprentice. Two Jedi, united to face whatever dangers were on the path ahead of them. Caius sat up, suddenly fully awake. What was that? It felt like a memory, but it couldn't have been. He and Soraya never found a book about dark side techniques, nor had they ever been to that place. But Soraya acted just as she had when she was alive, eager to contribute and earn his approval. It was no ordinary dream. It was too specific, too real. Not to mention the fact that Caius's only dreams for the past 2 years had just been his memories. He exited the tent and looked to the island in the distance. Something or someone on that island was toying with his mind. Whatever it was had fabricated a false memory and showed it to him. Was it meant to deceive him or intrigue him? Caius left the campsite behind without packing anything. He ran straight for the nearest dock. He had to get to the island. He had to know what it was. Caius found a few fishermen preparing to set sail and paid all the credits he had in exchange for passage to the island. After an hour on the boat, the island was much more visible to him. It was smaller than he expected. A large stone tower covered in overgrown vegetation was the sole structure on the island. He could sense the fisherman's trepidation about sailing further into the storm. By then, however, they were close enough to the island for Caius to swim. He leapt overboard without saying anything to the others on the boat. He swam through the difficult waters with the aid of the force and eventually made his way to the island's shore. He gripped his lightsaber within his left hand and started toward the tower. Caius approached the 2 metal doors at the base of the tower, but stopped before entering. He knew that his arrival was impulsive and emotional. In a dark place like this, he was very susceptible to the dark side. He took a moment to sit in front of the doors and meditate to center himself once more. After a few minutes, he stood and entered the tower. He instantly recognized the room he entered. It was an old library with most of the bookshelves toppled over. Books were scattered across the floor. Some were shredded or decaying, and nearly all were covered in dust. This was the place from his dream. Caius steadily approached one of the upright bookshelves, where Soraya had found the book in the dream. Master Caius? Caius whipped around, grasping the hilt of his lightsaber with both hands. He turned and saw someone he hadn't seen in 2 years. Soraya? The young woman smiled, tears welling in her eyes. Master Caius, I can't believe I finally found you. She took a step forward, but Caius took a step back. This can't be possible. I watched you die. I watched the clones kill you. They blasted me, but I was only wounded. I escaped after a few days of being imprisoned. I've been looking for you for so long, Master. You're not real, Caius said. He desperately wished it were so, but it couldn't be. Soraya was dead. He had watched her die 100 times over the last 2 years.
Out of there!
This had to be an illusion or a test from the Force. It had to be. Soraya took another step forward, but Caius held his ground. He would often make
you about to fight.
Returning to the temple to get food on Ord Mantell, she said. You found a yellow kyber crystal to replace my original green one that was destroyed when we fought in the Battle of Ryloth. We used to play Pazak to pass the time when traveling through hyperspace. Only the 2 of them could have known these things. Caius lowered his guard slowly. How do you... Is it really you, Soraya? He reached out his hand toward her.
No!
She gently put her hand against his. Caius could feel her warm, smooth skin against his as they made physical contact. He could sense the light in her. She rushed forward and embraced him in a tight hug, which he gleefully returned. How did you find me? Caius said. I trusted the Force to guide me, and it led me here, Soraya said as she finally pulled away from the embrace. Though I don't know why the Force led us here, of all places. I think I know, Caius said. I sensed a dark presence here. I think we need to destroy it. I don't sense the dark side here, Master, Soraya replied. The Force is strong here, but not the dark side specifically. Caius reached out with the Force once more. She was right. This place had a connection to the Force, but the dark side did not permeate this place as he had previously sensed. Was he mistaken? Was his dream not a false memory, but rather a distorted vision of the future in which he and Soraya were reunited? Maybe you're right. Perhaps I was projecting my own grief into the Force around me.
No, just get the hell out. Get out.
Listen to the fisherman.
Alone. I've missed you so much, my Padawan. And I can't even imagine what you've been through, Soraya. But now the Force has brought us back together.
Don't do this
we
to
aren't
this
alone
man
anymore. Together, we can overcome anything.
Nope.
No, no, no.
A deep, bellowing laughter echoed across the library. Caius scanned the room quickly in search of the source. An excellent demonstration.
Oh, hell!
Indeed, with the grand finale. The low voice echoed. Show yourself, Caius called out. The darkness was still here after all. Soraya ran to his side and looked up at him. Master, did you sense something? Caius looked down at her. Did you not hear that?
It's about to
She
be a
shook
whole
her
lot of
head.
whoop ass in here.
The laughter. There was a voice that said something about a demonstration. Soraya looked at her master with concern. Master, perhaps you should rest for a moment. There's no one else here.
He
Just
gonna die.
us. There they are. Fire! Caius turned just in time to see two clone troopers clad in white armor entering from the entrance of the tower, blaster rifles ready to fire.
Always my
It's
goal.
happening again. The same scenario he had relived 100 times was preparing to unfold again. The blaster bolts would come for Soraya. Before, Caius' swing to deflect the bolts coming for his apprentice had been a fraction of a second too late to save her. But not this time. He would not fail her again. He ignited his blue blade and swung for the incoming blaster bolts. But in spite of his determination, he was still too slow. The bolts shot past his blade before it could complete its arc. Master! Soraya called out just before the bolts hit her, and she toppled over. He had failed her once more.
Dude!
No! Caius cried out. He used the Force to throw his lightsaber, sending it into a swirling motion to bisect the clones before it returned to his hand. He ran over to Soraya and held her in his arms. Her body was limp. She looked at him with tears streaming down her gentle face. No, 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 not again. Not again. Master, why couldn't you save me? Soraya's head fell back as the light within her was extinguished. The dark laughter echoed through the library again.
Hell.
An excellent performance. Well done. Perhaps the time has come for us to reveal ourselves. Caius looked up to see two figures watching from a balcony above him. A man and a woman leaned over the railing, dark hoods and cloaks concealing their features. They had not been there a moment ago. Caius went to place Soraya's body on the ground, only to find that he was holding nothing. He turned to the bodies of the clones and found them missing as well. The dark side of the Force was palpable once more. He was practically drowning in it. He had never heard of illusions so powerful, yet they had deceived him all the same. And these two were the ones responsible. They were amused by his grief and torment. Caius could feel anger rising within him. What sort of magic is this? Are you one of the witches of Dathomir? Caius held his lightsaber in front of him and assumed an offensive stance. This time the woman laughed. She leapt over the railing and gently floated to the ground with the Force. The Night Sister's magic is primitive compared to my sorcery.
Oh.
She reached out with her hand and Caius's body froze. Every muscle in his body went rigid, held in place with the Force. He fought with all his strength, but was helpless to move. His mind was too clouded by his own rage and grief to call upon the Force. He was outnumbered and outmatched. The The woman approached him and plucked his lightsaber from his hands. She deactivated the blade and walked behind him. He couldn't turn his head to face her. I think I have something you might like better. She returned to his field of vision, stood directly in front of him, and placed a different deactivated lightsaber in his hands. It was the hilt of Soraya's lightsaber. Another illusion meant to mock him. Do you like it? How could you have known what it looks like, or what she was like? How did you know any of it? Oh, please. Your mind was easier to read than any of the books on these shelves. You thought about her so often I barely had to dig through your mind at all. Enough, the man called out from the balcony above. You've proven the strength of your sorcery against the Jedi. We have no further need of him. Finish him. Yes, my master, the woman replied. She ignited a crimson lightsaber and began to approach Caius once more. She held it over her head, no doubt preparing to swing it down at him. And Caius saw his chance. If he could activate his blade, she would be impaled as she approached, and he would perhaps be freed to fight her master. But he still couldn't move his body. There was only one other way. He concentrated with the Force and focused his mind on the activation button on his lightsaber. He couldn't see it through the illusion, so he instead visualized it in his mind. The haze of darkness and fear threatened to cloud his concentration, but he found his mark. He used the Force to press down on the button he could not see. The bright blue blade shot to life from the back end of his lightsaber, impaling Caius through the chest. His gaze lowered to the lightsaber in his hands. As the final illusion faded, he saw Soraya's hilt disappear, revealing his own with the emitter facing him. And stopped and released her grip on him with the Force. Caius fell to his knees.
Damn.
Life rapidly draining from his body. There is no death, he whispered. He fell forward as he succumbed to his wound and became one with the Force.
Nice.
No.
Michael, we ain't cool no more.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Michael, we're not cool anymore.
What a way to
hang out
end
with
it.
Kevin Scott.
Holy cow.
Yeah. That was some Kevin Scott shit.
Yeah, that's man.
That was cruel. That was cruel and unusual, and
I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to be your friend.
So much of
I
that
wanna-
was so. Oh
That was great.
man.
Michael always brings in the clone troopers. He knows how to hit us because the last story he wrote, it had to do with
good soldiers follow orders.
Yep, the clones turned. This time it's the different perspective. Man,
I like this. It was
Man.
influenced by the Elder. Like I love that whole the Elder is creepy.
Yes.
And stuff like the way they go and find just this random dark sider, and it's just oh man,
How it
so
felt.
well done, so well done.
I thought the audio was great.
Yeah, the audio was
Yeah.
good,
Dude,
You were
you're
saying
up
it
there.
was-
That's up there with Pete's, man. That is
I
fantastic.
like your delivery.
Mhm.
Your delivery was very, very well done, Michael. You have a very nice voice. I'm not kidding. It's like a very dark. Like it sounded really cool when you read it, man.
I'm
That was
really
amazing.
sad.
Yeah, that was.
Just upset. Like, damn.
What a solid way to wrap this whole evening up, Michael.
that was
10 out of
perfect.
10. That was incredible. That is exactly how it should be. It was enough to make you freaked out, but also was enough to keep you intrigued the entire time. And I want to know if you can answer this. Was that Vader? Because it was clone era, right? Was that Vader also with that sorceress? Just curious. Hopefully he'll give me an answer.
Don't know.
But
I-
the part where the blade gets him and it's his blade the whole
Yeah.
time, brilliant. Brilliant.
I feel like he's saying it's just like they are just random Darksiders just out there, kind of like that guy in The Elder. Maybe. I don't know.
I like. Look, Michael said it made him upset. I agree, dude.
You should feel bad. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's a great
You've
name.
heard us
It's a
all
great,
like that.
great Star Wars name, man. Caius.
I was almost in tears for most of that and stuff. Just like when he finally gets there and starts to see her, just that whole
Vision
section
plays back out
is so heart wrenching. It's so heart wrenching. Darksiders are mean.
I want to fight you.
Darksiders are mean.
Michael, I want hands.
Oh, here we go. A little bit of sizzle here. The characters I made up, you can find out more about them in my video about characters called the Eulogy or the Elegy of Malevolence.
Damn. Wow. Oh,
go check that out, guys.
They're
Seriously.
for my Star Wars RPG I ran last. See, Michael wants to do a Star Wars RPG at Bombadcast, and I think everyone in this chat would be down to do a real Star Wars RPG. Like,
oh my god, I'm so in. I'm
that's what
so
it is,
in.
Just don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me like that. You know? That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
That was amazing, Michael. Thank you so much for that. Seriously. That was incredible. God bless. Messed me up a little bit.
It's just that we're all so speechless here now. Oh my gosh.
That's great. This is great writing, great delivery.
I need a drink.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, look, I gotta say this is an amazing creepypasta. This was
good. This is damn good.
Perfect. Another great year of it.
Fantastic. Creepy Cavatappi. There you go.
Yes. With that being said, I guess we should sign off. It's getting a little late here where we're all at.
We're 2 hours 26 minutes in, but it's 2 hours and 26 minutes of sheer gold. Okay?
For real.
This is just absolute gold.
Look, dude, I'm so glad we can give you the chance to write and be this way because it's why we like doing this stuff. It lets us get creative. Like, I'm gonna really think about this story probably the next couple of days because it was so, I don't know, but it was
check out Michael's channel and stuff too,
Yes,
because he's got other he's got other short stories and stuff on there as well.
So good.
So seriously, so good.
Well,
so good.
To wrap this up, I think we should get our little plugs in. Cam, I'm gonna let you go first. Cam is one of my favorite content creators, and I'm not joking. I know I'm laughing through it. Let's hear it, Cam. Where can we find you? Semi-production, man.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Cam Ray and on YouTube, Cam Ray Semi Productions. And I put out some subpar, mostly Star Wars comediocrity. So there you go. And then I've got this monkey lizard bub who's now trying to rule the galaxy. So
yep, I heard.
So
it's terrifying. It is terrifying.
Thank you guys so much for letting me come on.
And look, Cam, just a sizzle right here. Cam will make a brief appearance in Podathon as well in the form of a commercial with Bub. So I am stoked for that little appearance. It's going to be quite the experience, I'd imagine. Always. Cam, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, dude, anytime, for real, anytime. Jared, what's up with you? What's going on with you, Jared?
Cookie Cup.
First of all, I just want to say, like, I am also very happy I finally got to like be on screen with Cam at the same time.
Yes.
I was very excited when I realized he was going to be on, so it was an honor and a great time because
I feel like I know you guys super well, but like we've never really done this, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
never. Yeah, it's insane.
It's wild.
It is, and I was very happy. It was very, very, very funny, man. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. We got a show for just about all of your nerd stuff. Main show, the Nerd Academy podcast, covers all entertainment news and stuff like that. Knights of the Nerd Republic, same thing, but Star Wars. Number one contender is our movie trivia Schmodown podcast. Campus Life is our conversational show.
Mm-hmm.
And movie club where, as the name implies, we pick a theme and watch movies. Campus Siphon Movie Club are on kind of like an unofficial hiatus just because scheduling's been rough, but there's a good back catalog for all of those. Yeah, and then like I said, I'm gonna be helping run stuff behind the scenes for Podathon.
Heck yeah.
I'll like Podathon plug again. Like y'all need to show up and show out and donate money because these amazing men are like in specific reference to Jerry, Scotty, and Pete. Obviously, there's a plethora of people who are all involved in the actual show itself. But in terms of people who got stuff started, like y'all gotta show up and show out and kick ass for these guys because I'm proud to call y'all friends. I'm proud to be running
Same
the
here.
boards back on my side. I'm so excited for next weekend. And yeah. Also, SundaysBloodyMaryMix.com. Use code TNAP.
That's awesome.
Boom.
No way.
I'm hawking
That's
Bloody
badass.
Mary Mix now. I'm hawking Bloody Mary Mix
I didn't
now.
know that. I'm gonna go buy some right now. I'm not even kidding. No
Put some
way.
Dude, okay.
in Cam's
I don't
Moose
know
Mug.
if you're a spice guy. I know obviously like New Orleans, so
I've
like
spent
Sure.
I
time on
would assume
Arrakis.
Katie is Jerry. God damn.
the Arrakis. Duncan, Idaho in the house. The spicy Caesar mix.
Yeah.
That's what they sent me as my like little like make sure you actually like the shit before you start slinging it. It is so good.
Cool.
It is like just like bartender by day. I like to do Bloody Marys as like I like to do them from scratch. Like I'm all like Worcestershire sauce and horseradish and Tabasco and everything. I do mine from scratch typically because I can control the flavor and the heat. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll try this mix. It's so good. And like the weird hint of Caesar you get with it. It is the best
I'm
Bloody
willing to try
Mary I've
that.
ever had.
That is
It's really
fantastic.
good. I am not kidding. Like I said, it was like earlier. It was like I swear to God, I'm not kissing ass. Like this is one of those like I took a sip and I looked down at my glass. I'm like, I can't believe they just kind of sent me this. This is
For real.
so yeah. Sunday's Bloody Mary. Sunday's Bloody
Send me that
Mary.
link.
Code
I will
TNAP.
buy that
Sunday's
tonight.
Bloody Mary. Code TNAP, right?
Yep. TNAP. It is
Go check it out.
like I didn't mean to turn this into a Sundays ad, but like goddamn that stuff is good. Like I'm gonna
okay.
be out
Cookie
of a
Cop
jar
demands
soon.
it. That's okay.
That's what I'm gonna be drinking through all the Podathon.
Oh,
So-
please.
We're all that's all that Podathon is going to be is day drinking. That's an excuse to day drink the entire
Probably.
time. So it's fine. It'll be.
I'll
okay.
just
look.
break into shows occasionally, just in the bag. Just you guys go to
like
Sundays
Kanye,
Bloody
like Kanye West at the
Mary.com.
VMAs or something. Like,
Yeah,
let me tell
that'll
you,
be my
Pete
Kanye
Fletzer had the
moment.
best video of all time. All
That'll
time.
be my Kanye moment. Is I'm just gonna kick down the door to whatever Star Wars Explained is doing. Just be like, Molly, I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta make a Bloody Mary on camera right now.
Well, look, we got to wrap this baby up. We got
Yeah,
a
I'm
late
sorry,
night.
I hijacked it again.
No, I got my partner. As Jerry called her, chiming for me. And I want to say this before we
Pining.
close this out.
Pining.
Right here, we've got Podathon, November 6th, 2021, 9 a.m. all day, 15-hour event.
Oh,
You'll see a
great.
bunch of cameos from people that you love in our space, but also on top of all that, you'll see all these fantastic shows. And to end the night, I want to show you this. It was a figure that was given to me by Andy Lemire from Hollow Chronicles. It is a Yoda figure, and it is truly terrifying. I'm not joking when I say this. Its eyes have been like whited out or something. And look, even in the green screen, it looks demonic. It's in the green screen. I just realized that. Look at that.
I was gonna say, it looks like, oh no, it's Ghost Rider Yoda.
That is horrifying. That is perfect mood for CREEPYPASTA. Well, look,
Oh, your sins I can see.
I will stand. Yeah.
Jerry, what should the wonderful people do?
I think Cam should do it since it's his first time
Oh,
on
it's his first
Bombadcast.
time.
Honestly,
Cam, the catchphrase. I'm sure you know it. I'll remind you if you don't. Stay Bombad, Cam. Can we hear you give us a good stay Bombad?
Stay Bombad.
stay bombad.
Peace.